Great Legend. Are you there? Coming at you live?
He's still on the comic course, but he's coming though. He said he's coming. But yeah, did he explain where you're at right now?
We are driving home right now from going to see Aquaman. My wife and I went to go see Aquaman. We had a night out with the kids. Here's the wife right now. Pay attention to the road. We're driving. We had a night off. Our 2 kids are in the car with us. We're going to put them to bed and then be on really quick and doing the hunt. But I don't have to turn this off right now because they're both asleep. So I'm in. I just don't have any books to show yet.
Oh, well, we can talk until we're waiting on the legend, and we can talk and just chill out and wait for the legend to get on because he's still on the comic course.
Sure.
Give you time to get here too. So we're not really. I don't want to do the hunt until everybody's on board to get it going. We can talk. So, so in your matter of fact, review it. Review.
Oh, we have the legend.
All right, you want a non-spoiler review of Aquaman?
Yes, we do. We want a non-spoiler review.
Okay. From a man's point of view, Aquaman visually was a very exciting movie. However, from a female point of view, how was Aquaman?
There's a lot of shots with no shirt on,
so we have a lot of no shirt shots.
Like 2 thumbs up. Me.
Yeah.
2 thumbs up from Elizabeth, and there's honestly, it was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you, it was visually entertaining.
It was fun.
The storyline's okay, but I will tell you this right now: this is not a Marvel versus DC conversation. This is a straight up fact. No one questions Namor. Oh. Aquaman's got a lot of people. Namor is the man. Great Legend Show coming at you live. How are you, my friend?
Man, guys, it's good to be here on the hunt tonight with JD, Jeffrey Komikhan Henson, and Tony. Look at man. I need one of them Christmas hats, man.
You got the
I
Christmas
did not
beard.
bring a Christmas hat.
I got
my JD hat, but I don't have my Christmas hat.
Yeah, well, we're happy to have you, Legend. Thanks for
coming on, man. We're just waiting for JD. He's doing a little review of Aquaman for us because he's on his way home to get his books because we can't start the hunt until he's got his supplies.
That's it, man. He's got to get that stuff. Well, I want to hear more about this Aquaman, JD.
Yeah, go ahead, JD.
Well, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. It was an exciting movie. Honest to God, it reminded me a lot of Man of Steel.
Mm-hmm.
It was very Man of Steel-ish. It was not really an origin story. Kind of got that. Black Mantis kind of was there. He was good. Not the character you think, but it was pretty good. I mean, if you read the Aquaman comics, I don't know if you recognize this Aquaman.
Okay, well, compare it to like the other DC movies, Batman versus Superman, Justice League, because I wasn't a big fan of those. I don't know. But like
I would say of all the DCU movies since the Chris Nolan Batmans, Wonder Woman is number 1. This would be number 2.
All right. Well, Wonder Woman was a good movie. That's a hard one to beat.
Yeah.
So.
And that's not. And just to let you know, this is not a husband and wife thing. Gal Gadot versus Jason Momoa, who's hotter. This is this is fact.
Nice.
Let me give a couple shout outs.
Would you agree Wonder Woman was just as good?
Let me give a couple shout outs to the chat here. We got Wingnuts in the house. We got
Wingnuts.
Who Dat Comics and Movies.
Oh, Who Dat?
Economics and Comics is here. We got my boy Comic Books NYC.
NYC.
I got issues.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see who else we got here. Yeah, we got a lot of people watching. But
thanks for starting, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're just waiting for JD to get to his house and set up so we can talk.
Yeah, we're about
like 8 minutes.
We're like eight minutes away, and I got 2 kids and 2 bottles of whiskey. So
that's gonna be some good stuff.
I gotta bring all 4 upstairs, my friends. I gotta bring all 4 upstairs.
All right. See, this is the Christmas special though, so y'all gonna get to see some behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, this
Y'all got
this is. I guess this is how the magic works.
Yeah, the magic of movies, right, guys? This is it.
like
One thing I will say is that I did my first raffle tonight.
Did you win?
I don't know yet. I don't know. I did one for like I got a gift card from an Instagrammer, and I felt like I should give it back to him because I bought books off of him all year long, and he said, "Hey, thanks a lot for buying books off me all year." And I shot him back and says, "What's your raffle going?" And he's got one going for one of my grails this year of 2019. So I just said, "Yeah." It was House of Secrets 92.
There it is. Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Old Bernie. Get that Bernie
You all
right.
know, yeah. I believe you all know I'm a big fan of Mr. Bernie Wrightson.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah, actually this is the first. I'm gonna spoiler alert for the hunt when I show my books.
Uh-oh.
Bernie Wrightson may not be in this.
What?
Oh.
No Bernie.
It might be the first non-Bernie Wrightson hunt episode.
Hey, I just want to shout out Soldier Only, one of my
But it
buddies from
doesn't mean,
Instagram. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I got a spoiler too because I have no captains in mind. No Captain Marvel. No Captain America.
I got Hulk.
I want to hear from the Great Legend Show. I missed this guy.
Well, I got one. You said you had no captains. How about Dick?
Oh, hey, Dick Tracy.
Well, I love Dick Tracy. This is like a variant, you know, the sketch variant by All Red. And man, it's really nice. It's cool. It's a cool cover. The story's really funny. It's classic. It's like the dialogue so 50s and stuff, like cop style, but they have a lot of fun. They have a lot of little jokes in there and stuff.
That is cool. Hey,
but I'm doing good.
So yeah, JD, you had the show yesterday where you're talking about everybody's goals for 2019.
Yeah.
And
I would love to ask you guys, tell me what your goals for 2019 are. Tell me what your channel goals and what your collecting goals are.
Okay, my channel goals are man, really my channel goals is just to keep collaborating with cool people, and you know, like the sub thing, I don't even care about that. I'm about to hit 600 though, but
yeah. Nice.
But you know, the sub thing, that's a bonus because like I get to spend time with cool people that I get to have fun with, you know, hang out and talk about stuff that we love. So, you know, that's fun for me. And like collecting, the only thing I'm really trying to collect next year is nothing really major. I just want like New Mutants 98, and then I want I'm still always looking for that early Golden Age Captain America, man. I'm always looking for one of those. I'll find one eventually.
That's one of my things for you, Mr. Sanders, is to find you a guy in C2E2. My job is for you to save up some cash and for me to negotiate with you.
Where's the Prince of Small?
Prince, let's just do my thing, and we'll do a negotiation to get you a Golden Age cap.
Oh, sweet, because man, I need one.
We'll do a team up hunt. I definitely want to help you find one, and I'm really good at negotiating when it comes out of that because I'll throw a little bit towards another book that guy might want to sell as well.
All right, that is cool, man.
That's my promise to you.
All right.
Yeah, as long as we record it live, we put the guy in the spot. You never know what's gonna happen.
You know we will. You know we will.
Exactly. I have done live con posts this year.
So Jeffrey, what is your goals?
Oh shoot! I'll still be here next year. Oh, anything and everything Incredible Hulk that I don't already have is always up there. I think that's my biggest, like, I don't know, probably my biggest goal is just to keep going. I'm trying to cut down on the pull list because I want to focus a little bit more on some, you know, back issues. I'd like to fill a little more Iron Man, Doctor Strange, some things like that. Get out of this variant exhaust type of thing, this fatigue from all the variants. Just kind of, I'm just trying to cut back on like I'm getting to the point where I'm paying $4 or $5 for these books, and I'm feeling like most of them are going to be in a dollar bin in 6 months. So I guess try to like have better patience.
Oh,
Big goal.
I mean, did you guys see my post on Instagram? I pulled that Godfather 3 line out.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
Every time I try to stop buying Barrett's, they pull me back
Yeah,
in.
Delato.
Well, at least one guy does, Delato.
That Delato.
Delato.
Yep.
Get you every time.
Yeah, didn't you comment on that, Legend?
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
That was funny. But you know, that's the thing. I mean, that's how it is. Like when I first got back into collecting around the New 52, man, all of those DC books were just so freaking good, and I was buying them and going crazy. And then, you know, over the years, though, you know, I started controlling and being more frugal with what I was spending. And now I'm only spending like $30 a month on, well, you know, I'd say 30 to 45 because I like certain hardcovers. I like hardcovers, so I add them on there. But normally, if there's no hardcovers coming out, it could be like 20 to 30 bucks is what, you know, I get. And, you know, with mycomicshop.com, it's 35% off if you pre-order on the pre-order thing. So
mycomicshop.com, I buy from them off of eBay. They always hook me up too. It's funny, like I'll buy a book and then like the day later I'll be like, oh, I should have got this one too in that order. So I'll buy something else from them, and they always refund money and give me back my shipping, and they always send me like an extra book in there and everything.
Like this book here.
Alamo's a great company, and I want to thank the Great Legend Show for telling me about Alamo and getting me to do that pre-ordering through them. It was a good idea. Absolutely.
Yeah, they have they've got this here. This Shazam book was like $4.99, but since I pre-ordered it 2 months ahead, it's like, my math's not great, but it's $4.99 minus 35%, so that was pretty good, you know.
Right.
These books, you know, a number 1 comes out, or you know, a number 1 comes out. Normally, it's like $4.99. A number 1,000 will come out. They'll probably charge $10 or something, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
which I think they're going to do at $9.99 or something. But
Spawn was like the last of the true ones, going at $2.99, and they just stopped that. That's the last one. This is my first hardcover right here.
Wow!
And nice. And that is a good one too.
I haven't read it, and I was talking with John's Comics with Kids about it last night, and he was like, "You've never read that one?" I was like, "No, I haven't. I haven't read any of the Old Man Logan." And he's like, "Oh, I'm giving it to you." So he bought it for me. Had it shipped next day on Amazon Prime. So that was my Christmas present from John's Comics with Kids and the whole John's Comics with Kids family. Kate, Charlie, Mrs. Comics with Kids.
Comic Head 84 asked if JD's been kidnapped. No, JD is on his way home.
No, JD is good. I am actually going to now take my kids up the stairs. I'm going to leave this for about 2 minutes, and I will be right back. I'm going to take my babies upstairs to their bed. I will be right back.
Okay.
Right.
We'll miss you.
Okay.
All right, man. We'll see you.
It won't be long. Love you lots.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's the Christmas special, y'all. Christmas special. Y'all get to see all the good stuff. Come on.
Oh, yes. No holds barred tonight.
Nope.
Man, nothing like some good old Christmas time. I know it's always a special time of the year. Y'all know any of y'all's gifts y'all's wives are getting you?
Oh yeah, well she already got me mine. It was that ASM 300 that she got me like right there.
Oh yeah, you know I remember you showed those, and you I don't know if it was on I saw them on Instagram or it was the YouTube video, but it was like all 4 of the black suit Spidey's. Man, that's a nice shelf you got there. I love them.
Oh, I was gonna ask you, Great Legend, because like, all right, I know you're a Shazam fan, and I was gonna mess with you tonight, but I'm gonna go ahead and pull it out right now. You ever read Prime?
Wait. Oh, wait. Hold on. Let me look real quick.
Prime.
Minimize.
Yeah.
I have never read that.
It's all right. It's kind of like
Shazam style. Yeah. Who made that? Was that Liefeld? He borrows ideas quite a bit.
No, it was from what's it? Malibu Comics back in the day.
Oh wow, okay.
And like the kid is inside this like protoplasm body, and like he breaks out of it. Like, let me see. Hold on, let me just open it. Let me open it and show you.
That's funny.
It's crazy.
I'm gonna look at that.
Like, let me see.
Did your wife give you any presents this year, Legend?
You know, I think there's a Blu-ray set of of some Universal horror monsters. You know,
Can't
Bela
go wrong,
Lugosi,
man. Those are
Boris
the best.
Karloff, Frankenstein,
Yes.
Mummy, and all that. So I already had some of the legacy collections, but they didn't have an Invisible Man or Creature from the Black Lagoon back when I was getting them. And we decided, I kind of, told her, this is a great deal. You get a lot of movies with it. It's like you get 30 movies in there. And then I think there's even extras. I'm crossing my fingers. I'm hoping the Creature from the Black Lagoon 3D versions in there, because I still have my 3D TV, and I love watching 3D on there.
Oh wow! That's
so
crazy.
all right, here, Legend. Like, all right, now I don't know if you can see it, but like you can see his body kind of breaking down right there. And then and then the next page, that's where he's like the little boy trapped inside the body, and he breaks out. So it's kind of like a Shazam character.
Yeah, the body forms around the kid. It's kind of like his own Iron Man suit or something. But human and biological stuff.
Nice.
Epidermis and other like science terms. I don't know.
Bend over.
Man, how's the chat going? What y'all got? Where's the chat at?
Wood is in the house. John's Comics with Kids is in the house.
John's Comics with Kids. What? I know that guy.
Dre Boogie.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I saw that. I saw some good videos
you were there, man. That's right. C. Woodard, good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping by, Dre Boogie.
Area 51's in the house.
Oh yeah, Area 51.
We got
y'all make sure y'all like, Ruben share, subscribe.
Yeah, Ruben Live.
Yeah, I love Ruben. Wearing that atrocious
Ruben Evans. Love you, Ruben.
Yep.
Red Lantern.
So we
Area 51.
We was waiting on JD to set up, and then we will start the hunt. And if you missed what happened earlier, JD was coming from Aquaman. He gave us a little review of Aquaman, what he thought about it. His wife was in the video too. You'll see the recap. You can see it. And she was giving a little info on what she liked about it, which was just Jason Momoa without his shirt.
That's true. The ladies love that guy.
Like, if you can get away to get a man and his wife to a superhero movie, why not, right? Like,
sometimes you got to go there. Hey, here's a hot guy.
I mean, I don't have a wife, but like, I mean, if I did, like, I'd like her to go with me.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or a girlfriend. Anybody know any single women? I'm looking.
Comic Corp in the house.
Bueller's looking for some single.
Yeah, we're on the same page. We were looking when I was up there with him. We were trying to
Portland beauties. Well, we also call them Bueller's beauties.
Yeah.
He takes them down to the Bueller basement, and the rest is history.
We're at the Bueller spinner rack.
Yeah, is that when the vest comes off?
That's where the vest is off, man. He's ready.
Comic Core's in the house. What's up, Comic Core?
There he is, Comic Core Chad. Got Area 51, one of the coolest like statue figure room collections ever.
I know.
Really cool. Really cool stuff.
Stacy in the house. Stacy Gillette, the best a man can get. Well, that was the low. That was the razors. The shit or the Gillette razors.
Yeah.
But she's the best. Sold GR only. Wingnut. Wingnut's in the house.
Yeah, Steve. He's always big, man. He supports. He's such a good supporter. I see him everywhere. He's always commenting. Been watching my channel since day one. Wingnut is awesome.
Oh yeah.
Good to see.
Hey, yeah, I know, right? In NYC Comic Books, NYC, man. I don't think it matters how many are out there. It's always hard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I was in the middle of watching your video, man. Like I was watching your video, and I was like, I got to show it. Comic Books NYC.
I was in the middle of Comic Core. I'm watching Comic Core, and I'm like, Legend, are you ready for this or what? And I look down, I'm like, I got to go put on clothes and get ready. I was like, I'm not ready.
Yeah, sometimes there's just so many live shows, and you're in and out, or switching from tab to tab to see what's going on, see what the topics are and everything, kind of getting a feel for your night. And man, like you start like thinking you're chatting in one room, and then you're chatting in the other room.
Oh yeah. Well, it's like I don't even hardly watch television anymore.
I don't. I hardly do.
Mostly everything's YouTube, and then like because I'm on the West Coast, so like it'll die down a little bit earlier for me. It'll be like 10 or 11, and it'll be kind of dead, and then I'll like go watch some TV. But during the day, especially once like all the East Coasters, Midwesters, you guys get off of work, start getting online, start streaming and stuff from 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock on. For me, it's pretty live.
Man, it's awesome. Good times. Good
it's like Bueller said, man. He said we're in the golden age of comic book YouTube right now, which is kind of cool. So like I'm enjoying it. So it's like I'm glad just to be a part of it, really.
You know, I was telling the folks on Comic Core, I told them, I said, 2018, like you may hear these terms like G1, G2 or something. Well, 2018 is G8. And the folks that came out, Tony, you, Jeffrey, JD, Whitewell Comics, John's Comics with Kids. I mean, I'm going to probably get like beat down if I don't name everybody, but all the folks that came out in 2018 with all the passion and, just the love for the comics and the community, this has like been the best year for like positivity in the community. Don't y'all think?
And like it does. And what I was having a conversation with John's Comics with Kids earlier today, and it starts at the core. You know what I mean? Like you are part of that core. I was talking to you like my first week I was in YouTube, just like a fringe, like, and that,
in the chat,
that was such a big, it was such big support and such big motivation because I was so scared when I first started and nervous, and to have support from somebody like that, and it just grows. I compared it with John into like a fly attracted to like a bug zapper. You get the good people in the community and it attracts the other good positivity, you know what I mean? Like that's why I resent like a fly getting killed. But
that's like I remember the first time,
the best way.
Like the first time I ever seen one of your videos, Jeffrey, I was like, "Who is this guy?" And I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm like, then I kept watching, like it was on autoplay. Then went to the next video, and I was still watching, and I was like, man, I gotta work with this guy one of these
Tony
days.
Sanders was like I don't know what number, but you were one of my very first subscribers. I was going back and looking at it. You were up there as one of my very first subscribers. That was crazy. Now here you are, like 600 subs, and I'm like,
well, how about you? How about you, Jeffrey? Here you are showing up at freaking Bueller's house. I'm like, dang,
at Bueller's house,
man. Yeah, the house of the Bueller. Did you see the basement where he keeps the Bueller beauties?
Where he keeps Sam. That's where he keeps Sam chained up. Bueller, he was offering if anybody's ever in the area, come hang out. So I was like, well, I'm calling him out. I'm calling you out, Bueller. I'm coming.
Was he like a normal dude, or was he celebrity and stuff like Paris Hilton or something?
No, I make fun of him all the time and tell him he was like a rock star, but he was he's super down to earth. Like you go anywhere, like most of the people know him there. So humble, man. Just like you can get on YouTube and it could be an act. You could pretend to be one, but Bueller's the real deal, man. Like,
I love that, man. Bueller is awesome. I've had a lot of chats with Bueller, play video games and stuff, and man, he's a great guy to hang with.
For sure. I saw Miss Hustle coming back the other day, man.
That was cool.
Yeah, I hadn't seen her in so long. Like, I was shocked. It was such a good feeling, though. Like,
and Miss Hustle is such a great integral part of the community, how she always shares everybody's stuff on Instagram. I've always told her I admire her work as she does on Instagram. That's probably my thing I need to build up. I haven't taken like pictures or done any of that lately, so I need to get back into it. But I do go to Instagram and check messages and look at everyone's current stuff, and it's pretty awesome.
It's like I get to the point where it's like I don't get on Facebook as much, but I get on, like, I'll talk to you or Economics and Comics on Facebook, but like Instagram, I'm usually on there a lot, and it's like I'll be like on my way to work. I'll be at work and I'll like be in my office and I'll be like, throw down Thursday, putting up a post or something, and I'm like, okay, like I'm doing this every day now, and it's like crazy to me, and I would never do something like that before, and it's like, but I like doing it, and it's like just like. Not only just like, you stay in touch with people in the community, but it's like, you let them know that, you still have that passion and that love for the books as much as you do, for the YouTube,
It's awesome.
JD, did JD hit the bottles?
Well, he said he had 2 of them. I wonder if he maybe already drank them. And
I'm like, JD, you're doing a show, right?
Well, JD. Great show last night with Reggie and Bueller talking about, where they want to see themselves in 2019 going forward, and just talking about the great 2018. And that was a great show right there. I love that show.
Yeah, I remember the first time I seen JD, he was talking about, it was a video, and I was like, because like I'll just skim through YouTube sometimes, just looking up comic videos. And I seen him, and he was doing a video about the Silver Surfer, and I was just like, I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm like, and he was just like so freaking knowledgeable about everything. I was just like,
that's awesome.
And I'm just like, man, this dude is like, he knows his stuff, and it's like, and it's like that was another, I was like, I gotta work with him too, because he's like, that's, the dude he knows his stuff, and it's like White Whale knows his stuff about, the art stuff, that's what I tell him. I'm like, you know your stuff on art, but it's just like crazy stuff. Like people have their strengths, and it's just like, and you pull it together, and it just comes together, and it just becomes really cool, man. It's like, if you just have like the Bueller, him and JD and Reggie last night, you just get different people. Like when we brought in Economics and Comics, and we did the Slab or Not the Slab show, and it was just like, we all gelled together, and it was just like a great hit, just a great show.
Yeah, it's like just natural chemistry, so whenever you get together, you're just ready to go, and it's a great show too.
Yeah,
man. I didn't know JD before we started doing this, but I'm so glad that he is part of the show, because it just works out perfect, man.
Because like I literally hit up JD. I was like, hey, I'm thinking about doing a show, and I want you in it. And I was like, but I got to talk to the other person first to see if he wants to do it. And I didn't tell JD who it was. I didn't tell anybody who I was getting. I was just like, I want you. And then like I messaged Jeffrey, and I didn't know what Jeffrey was gonna say. I was just like, hey, you want to do a show? And Jeffrey was like, yes.
Yeah, man. I've been talking about it because it's just so much more fun to get on, like, I think, with other people and talk about this stuff,
Talking about the passion, talking about the comics, man.
Yeah, man, that's some truth.
Cool. The best. You know what though? You're right about those variants. These Marvel 2-in-1s and the Fantastic Fours, they really got me. But I tell you, some great covers here. This is some kind of a variant where it looks like the Thing maybe takes Hank Pym's Pym particles or something. He's like humongous over everybody else. So that's kind of cool,
I love stuff like that. Like I'm thinking about doing like if I can get enough of them, like do a thing on a what if, like a what if series.
Yeah, like the what ifs. Like, are you going to get those volume 1 what ifs?
Like, I'm gonna try to get them.
All right.
I ordered
awesome.
Hey, we should start. JD ought to be here pretty soon, right? He could go last.
Let me see.
Yeah.
It's getting late though for some people, I think.
Yeah, okay, we can start, and JD can be last. We'll do that.
Yeah.
Since you are the guest, you get to go first.
All right. So I got some good books here.
It's one at a time, so just pull out one.
One at a time. And, a lot of the books I get, and how many, I know we're going to do the Christmas special, and then
9?
A real big book. Oh, I got a lot of books here.
We're good.
Oh,
yeah, it'd be good. Yeah, I'll just show you.
Leave the hustle and the Christmas one for last.
Yeah, the Christmas one, the hustle. Damn. Now, the hustle one, what's the hustle one? Can it just be
your best deal?
Best. Yeah, best deal. All right, I got that. All right, let me show you my first one. I really love this cover. I really wish this guy could have done the book, and I'll go ahead and show the other covers, but the cover in particular right here, and I don't have it in Mylar yet, but it's Gary Frank. It's cover B to Shazam #1.
Nice.
This book,
I wanted that one.
It's a good one. And I don't know. I'll have to see if I ordered any more. This is the only one I have right now, but I'm pretty sure I went back on there and got 2 more of each one. When it comes to like your favorite characters, sometimes you have multiple copies. But yeah, Gary Frank, he did the
JD needs a link.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm getting it for him.
He did a phenomenal job on the Justice League issue 7 through 12, I think it was, where it was the Shazam serial, aka like the storyline in the back of the book for like 7 chapters or so. And it's Gary Frank on the art and Jeff Johns on the story. But in this one, it's Doug, I think his name's Doug Eaglesham, but he does pretty good. His artwork looks real similar to Gary Frank. I think they do. So perfect guy for the job to make it continue that New 52 story of Shazam that they started in New 52 and like continue it into the new era, pre-movie and all that good stuff, So hopefully they knock it out of the park. Because
is that movie out already?
It comes out in April, I think.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I'm late to the party on that one.
But yeah, that was my first one.
Cool. Okay, I'll go. You want me to go next, Tony?
Yeah, go ahead.
I picked this one up. This is Doctor Strange, issue number 2, from volume 2, not volume 1. This is volume 2. This is the second appearance of the Silver Dagger and Doctor Strange versus the Defenders. You can see.
Oh, JD would like that.
Yeah, we got the Incredible Hulk down here. You know, I can't go wrong with me and my Incredible Hulk goodness. I think this one was marked $5. It's in really good shape. I mean, not like for the age. I mean, it's probably like a 5 or something. It's fine with me. But I think I paid $4, $3 or $4 for it.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
man,
I don't have any Doctor Strange. These are my first Doctor Strange books I got here. So
that was the Silver Surfer and everybody on there from the Defenders.
Yeah, Silver Surfer, Namor, and the Incredible Hulk.
That's awesome.
So let me see here. Okay, I got it's an oldie but a goodie, and some people, I don't know, for a while this book was hot, and I don't know why, but some people just wanted it, and like I know 9/8 went crazy and stuff for it. But a little Power Pack number 1.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, Power Pack went like it's like these little
Alex
kids.
Power and the other little kids that are like got powers and stuff.
Yeah, they get up from like an alien.
I think I'm on.
Yeah,
You're here.
There he is, JP.
Ugly sweater and all.
Mr. Great Legend, I do apologize for this. I do.
Oh, that's a great sweater.
Gremlins. Oh,
Yeah, that is awesome.
I had to make up for it.
I love it, man. That's awesome. One of the best.
I had to
Christmas
make up with
movies.
one of my favorite Christmas movies. I got Gizmo all the way through.
The good stuff.
This thing's so ugly, it's so good. This thing tells a story throughout.
And it's like when I watch Riverdale, it's so bad, but I really like it. It's like a guilty pleasure.
I think we all have that guilty pleasure.
Watching that Riverdale.
Got a dance?
No, that I think it's the what's it? Yeah, it could be.
Could be the one where they're like dancing all like Irish jig style or something.
Yep. Yeah. The river dance. That's river dance.
Oh, that's the
Oh,
river
I do
dance.
apologize.
Yeah.
I'm actually. Wife's bringing up the Jameson. I actually have one more bottle of Redbreast sherry cask. So yeah,
nice.
I only drink Irish whiskey. So well, I will drink other whiskeys as well, but
so you're up, JD.
oh, first book.
No, yeah, your first book. Yeah.
All right. Let me do this really quick. It's not the top 2.
Nah, just your pick. Just your pick.
Random pick. All
Yes, sir.
Well, this is a good one here. It's a Golden Ager, but it's not a Golden Ager. It's the first code in Marvel.
Really?
It's the
First
it's 1955.
Well, they printed it big, didn't they?
Oh, they did.
It's a John
This was
Hancock.
1955. I paid this and another book. I paid $100 for. The other book's coming a little later. This is an Apache Kid. This is a beautiful Russ Heath cover.
Thank you, Mr. Carroll.
Which, if anybody knows the Golden Age, Russ Heath is one of the top 10 icons of the Golden Age. And Apache Kid was the first character invented by my man, Mr. John Buscema.
Ooh, that is awesome.
So it's the first character, and it's actually a good storyline. There's a little inside here. There's another little story. If you don't know, in a lot of the Golden Age, there's 3 or 4 or 5 stories within a book. In this one, there's about a 3-page story, which is inked by Mr. Alan Bellum, who's one of my favorite Captain America people who I'm excited about meeting in Denver this year. But there's one big thing about this book that I did not know until I actually contacted the guy who sold it to me, and I said, "Can I confirm this came from?" I actually buy a lot of books from people overseas, because a lot of people don't like to buy books from overseas because shipping. But that's nice. Look at my wife. She just brought over a bottle of Jameson Castmates.
She knows you so well.
Oh, she does. But anyway, one more thing here. Sid Shores actually who's one of my favorites of the Golden Age. But this is my first book. It's Apache Kid. I believe it's number it's number 13. And if you ever want to look up in Atlas sales, number 12 does not have this. 13 does, and according to Atlas, the first one was done in April of 1955, this was the first book printed in April of 1955.
Wow.
Okay, so you said pre-code. What does pre-code mean? I hear that.
Okay, there was something called the Seduction of the Innocent, the SOT.
Oh, that doctor dude. What was it?
Yes, Wertham, which if you watch the Buscema video, I go into a little bit about that, because that's why John kind of left comics for a while. That was written inside of about 4 or 5 of the books he did. There's a doctor, Dr. Wertham, and a bunch of senators, but it's called The Seduction of the Innocent. And I know Mr. Great Legend is a big fan of the Golden Age as well as I am. The SOT books, as we call it, are very hot but very good. But it's also a part of history, which is why we collect the Golden Age.
Yeah,
So,
I read about that story in this book. I bought a book by Craig Yo, who has a lot of these books he releases that are compilation books, and the book was called oh God, I got it in there by the bedside. It was it was a marijuana book. It was called they made a bad black and white movie about it.
Oh,
Reefer
Madness. Reefer Madness.
That's the name of the book. It's Reefer Madness, and it collects all these stories from the Golden Age that, most of them are cop stories that they're always chasing someone that's high on the reefer and how it makes them crazy and all this kind of stuff. And those are such good stories. And Siegel and Schuster did one of them, so everybody looked like Clark Kent, just black hair, white guy, dumb suit, so stupid. But yeah, they all look like Clark Kent. It's kind of like anytime Jack Kirby has a blonde hair character, it's like always Thor. Yeah, Thor.
It's always Thor. He's always got
Commandy looks like a young Thor.
Honestly, if I actually went on, if you ever look at one of my videos about Commandy, I did, because I know Great Legend and I have discussed Commandy before.
Thanks for stopping by, Comic Head.
I will always tell everybody one thing: is that Commandy is a Thor. And when Mandy met Khazar in a Jack Kirby thing, I don't know who called the dinosaur, but it looked like Thor with a hammer. But a Mandy called it was there. They were all 3 there. But I'm definitely a big fan of. I do consider this Golden Age because it is before Showcase 4. But it's the first code, and if you want to see the size of how much they were serious about that code back then, huh?
Yeah, they were.
1955, and I got this pretty much for less than a song. It's not in the best condition, but you want to know what? It's a Russ Heath cover, which you don't get for a dime, and it's actually a good story. And I love about Apache Kid, so I'm very happy with that.
And it's good for everyone out there in the community to kind of read up on, the pre-code stuff. Of course, EC, that was some great stuff. Everyone's heard about those EC books like Weird Science and Tales from the Crypt and stuff. But man, I tell you, learn about that stuff. They were doing that stuff on Capitol Hill. Comics are polluting our young minds. It was
it's a generational thing.
Generation kids in the 80s. If we watch too much G.I. Joe or Voltron, we're gonna go crazy.
For his video games. For me,
and
today it's YouTube. Little kids watching Fortnite.
I'm 45. Great Legend is around my age. I'm not going to guess whether you're up or minus a little bit here and there, but you can't be within 1 or 2 either way. I'm going to say one thing. If it was the more
41.
you know, okay, there you go. If it's the more you know, and knowing is half the battle, then therefore we won everything.
Yeah,
that was it. The more you know was before the last one with the star, and then you had knowing is half the battle. Well, I think we all turned out right.
Yep.
I think the 80s kids, the 70s and the 80s and the ColecoVision and then television and everything else.
Gen Xers, heck yeah.
Like a lot of comic books and video games. And we don't cause a lot of problem.
Nah.
Now you younger kids and you older people.
Yeah, the older people.
Yeah.
Hey, Comic G-Man just showed up. I don't know if he's been here. I just saw him in the chat. I just want to give a shout out to Comic G-Man. It's actually his birthday today. Happy birthday, Comic G-Man.
Happy birthday, sir.
Happy birthday, Comic G-Man.
Yeah.
So, Legend, what else you got for us now?
Okay, well, this one's a cool one. This one I get my books monthly from mycomicshop.com, so everything comes together. But I really like this. This is the cover B to Dick Tracy Dead or Alive storyline, and it's Flat Top with a bloody nose, and he just got arrested and he's in his jail cell. Now, what's cool about these cover Bs, issue 1 had Big Boy Al Caprice, and then he was in jail because.
Well, you're really on the dick tonight, huh?
I know, right? Dick Tracy caught him.
IDW's for real, though.
In the story, it's all red
IDW's
artwork.
best stories, yeah.
And it's really good. I mean, the whole story's good. It's going to go 6 issues. And I'm thinking, by the looks of it, every time he catches someone in that issue, they'll show up on cover B in jail. It's kind of cool.
I like Flat Top though. That's like the movie. I remember the movie back in the 90s?
William Forsythe playing that Flat Top.
Yeah,
William, has anybody? I don't know if anybody subscribes to Amazon Prime, but there's a show on Amazon Prime that William Forsythe is in now called Man of the High Castle.
Wow. Okay.
He does a really good job as a side character in season 3. And it's a book. It's kind of a thing that I didn't want to get into, but a couple of guys when I was working when I was hanging out at a bar would tell me about, and it had an interesting storyline. It's what if it's like different universes. So, you know, for all you Spider-Verse fans, there's a lot of different ones. But in this one, half of the United States is occupied Germany in the 60s because we didn't go into war, and the other half, the Pacific states, are occupied Japan, and then there's a neutral zone, which is pretty much the Rockies, Colorado, up and down through there. But it's just one of those. It's a weird storyline, but William Forsythe kind of plays a great character, and he's one of those character actors who played Flat Top in the Dick Tracy thing. When I looked at that book you brought up, first thing I thought of was, hey, that's William Forsythe.
That guy. That Man in the High Castle. I did see that maybe the first 2 episodes, but that's the one that it's an alternate history where the Nazis won, kind of like Earth X, kind of like Freedom Fighters. If y'all want to get that,
yeah.
Freedom Fighters came out this week. That was really good. But
it is, except if you no spoilers, Lark. But our history where the
quality comics characters,
it's our history is in there. And it's a guy watching the movies and he thinks it could happen. And it's a Japanese guy, a German guy, and an American woman who all see these videos and they want that. And they're trying, but they're the most powerful people in each of their areas.
Dang, so cool.
That's it. Yeah.
Jeffrey, what you got, man?
I just want to show this one. This is my first book, JD. Missed it. It's Doctor Strange #2, Volume 2.
You know I love Match of the Mystic Arts, right?
Yeah, and you can see it's got the Silver Surfer.
It's got my Defenders on there.
Yeah, but #2 I got is Doctor Strange issue 6. From
one of the top 10 covers I've ever seen. Now, if you ever look at that cover, look at Clea, look at all those skulls.
Yeah,
that is gorgeous.
It's the first appearance of Gaia. I don't know how you pronounce the name, but
yeah. Doctor Strange, awesome.
I think this one was marked $3. I got it for $2, so I mean, not bad.
Yeah, that's really good for some Bronze Age Doctor Strange Volume 2.
Yeah, it's something. It's so good that you can. I mean, because that's exactly what I see around, and I love that. Jeffrey, you have done a phenomenal job on the hunt. Most of my hunt has been Doctor Strange, as you know, because it's dirt cheap to get the good Bronze Age, and I don't mean late Bronze Age. I don't mean 1980s. I mean 70s. I mean some really good quality.
Yeah. Well, I think these are like 68 or something like that for these issues right here.
These are that is some quality Doctor Strange, and that is the storylines that they do follow in the MCU. They do follow that storyline. So
yeah, it's so freaking awesome.
Well, I'm gonna bring it back up to the 90s.
90s are good.
Some McFarlane here. We got a 317.
I love McFarlane. That is one of Bueller's. Like Bueller wants to meet him so bad again, and do some interviews.
Yeah, I love this cover on here. It's just like Spidey and you got Venom trying to take him over. It's a pretty cool cover. I like that.
Very good. What's that? 317, if I'm not mistaken.
317.
Yeah. Just FYI, the cover before that is considered the first cover appearance of Mr. Venom himself.
Newsstand.
Newsstand. See Woodard 19. Dare to defy, man. Keep watching Riverdale, Woodard.
I think that's real solid book right there. Who's up?
See Wood still in here? It was just his birthday the other day. He's right. Me and C Wood are about the same age. You know, it's cool.
Give me them young guys.
Yeah. However you'd like to say that.
All right. What you got, JD?
Okay, should I light the fires or kick the tires? You tell me, Tony.
Let's kick it up a notch. Let's heat it up a little bit. You always got something good.
You know, you remember I did put out that post today about I do not like to buy variants.
Yeah.
I do not like to buy variants, but I did buy one, and I kept the price tag on this one because this is a semi-hunt. Because apparently this is going for bigger on eBay, but I am never gonna sell.
I was
this
just
book.
on to Comic Tom. Did you guys say
I am not selling this book. This is Darth Vader number 25, the final issue of the series, as far as I've been told.
That was just on top 10 of the week, man.
This, by the way, is also if you can I show that price tag? Can you see that price tag?
I can see it. I can't see the price.
It's $12.99.
Yeah, I think it's like a $25 book. Comic Tom was just saying.
But to me, it's more than it's the only. And I'm a big Star Wars fan. If you ever watch any of my Star Wars videos, and you see I've got a lot of Darth Vader stuff around me. My wife would not let me name my first son Anakin, but that's okay. We named him Charles. That's okay. But we have a lot of Darth Vader stuff around here. But one thing is, can you guys still see me?
Yeah.
I love that Darth Vader cover too. And being the final issue. Do you have all the issues?
I do have all issues, and I've got 90% of the variants. Cool. A lot of them signed. A lot of them is by Mr. Charles Soule. It's one of those great things about economics and comics. Shout out to him. Shout out to everybody in the chat who does get signed Darth Vader comics. I am that guy who buys every one. But if you don't remember, I actually did an unboxing video of the Spider-Man 800, that great Delato cover that everybody wanted there. This to me is better because I am not the biggest Spidey fan, but non-comic, as a kid growing up, my mother she's 80 years old. She tells a story. John always liked Darth Vader. And she tells that story to my wife to this day. She's like, so there, I have gotten a Star Wars present every year since 1977 from my mother.
That is awesome.
And this year, she goes, "Did you find anything Star Wars for me new?" She's a little bit 80. I said, "Ma, I got a comic. It's $13." She goes, "Well, I bought your son one too." So there you go.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Count Von Strange in the chat.
Oh, hey, Count Von Strange. I did you watch his video today about that Silver Surfer, that doll? I'm gonna bring that up in my one. I'll tell you what, Count Von Strange, do not go anywhere because in my next book you're gonna be featured. So,
okay, well, back to you, great legend.
All right. Well, what was really cool, and what would the discount be? I don't know, 66 cents maybe. I don't know. My math's bad, but these True Believer books. And
I read that.
Did you like the cows at the end?
I enjoyed that book. I read that and enjoyed it. I was like, this is great.
This one here, I need to. I've got a copy of this. I need to get it. So I got a kid screaming. Let me say.
So some more Fortnite legend.
Hey, stop raging on the Fortnite, man. But no, I love this book. It's dang. His mom got him now, so you're gonna get it. But no, this book right here, I have a I hope it gets a 1.5. I mean, it's so low grade. I'm gonna get a Midwest Comp Man to press it, and then but I may eventually one of these days I want to upgrade my issue 2. But the thing was, man, the scrolls are in that Captain Marvel movie, and this book's going up. Yeah. So this it ain't a good time to get this book. But if you can get to True Believers, definitely pick it up.
Yeah.
I actually will. I'm a huge fan of the True Believers. I actually think for $1 I have to buy 5 of each every time, and I put them away, and I actually donate a bunch of them to the Children's Hospital here in Omaha. And it's one of those things I tell them. I said, I know this is not your characters that you used to, but get the True Believers if you can. Get everyone, because they are putting out not only the best books, they're putting out history for people. Even I can't open up a Fantastic Four 2. I mean, back in the day of me grabbing literally, you have seen me with white gloves open up Golden Age books. I would get nervous to open up a Golden Age book today. I mean, Fantastic Four too.
I never even open it up or mess with it because it's so like I think probably I have a lot of worn Fantastic Four books because, a lot of them are low grade or whatnot, but I just be real careful with them because you don't want them to fall apart in your hands. They're like treasure maps.
They really are. Great Legend, I love that you are on this episode.
Man, this is a good show, man. The hunt is what it's all about. I enjoy each and every one of your guys' content solo.
I'm brought out my white gloves for one of my books.
Oh, yeah. Bring out the white gloves, man.
What you got, Jeffrey?
It's early.
I got
teasing it.
Doctor Strange, issue number 13. This one is the first mention. I don't think it's an appearance. First mention of the One Above All.
Oh, really?
That is
wow.
That is key, dude.
Pulling at my heartstrings, Jeffrey. Pulling at my
Sorry, that's the last one.
Man, are you using that app, ain't you?
Yeah, I paid $2 for that book, so I got a pretty good deal
on that one. That's good.
Yeah,
Doctor Strange is one of those characters that I've read a lot more later in life where I did not grow up reading Doctor Strange like I grew up reading Thor, Avengers, Defenders, Silver Surfer. I read them all. I did not read Doctor Strange till I was older to where I could probably better off appreciate him and understand it more because Thor was kind of, and I'm saying it's not remedial Thor. I'm saying it was just Doctor Strange gets a little bit out there, especially when you're talking about, Clea, Kalula, and everybody else that's in the world and there's dimensions and everything else.
The astral plane, man.
Yeah,
he was there in that astral plane.
Yep.
You go from Ditko, and then you have you have the whole second series, which is kicked off by Bernie Wrightson cover. By the way, I'm throwing it out there. One of my favorite covers. It's just one of those great things, and Doctor Strange is one of those characters that I appreciated more as an adult, especially more as actually in the last 3 years. I'm not going to say I wasn't a Doctor Strange fan growing up. I became a Doctor Strange fan as I got older, and now that's one of my main guys I'm going to collect.
That's awesome.
There you go, and I actually appreciate Jeffrey Komikhan for showing out the fact that you're giving me my own hunt.
Well, I learned from the best, you guys. So, what do you want me to say?
So I'm gonna switch it up a little bit, and I'm gonna throw a little DC out there. I posted this on Instagram, and I'm taking this to C2E2, and
I want to hear it now.
And it's getting signed. It's gonna get signed. I don't think I showed it in the last hunt. I hope I didn't.
I don't know. I think we talked about it off screen or something.
Yeah. Maybe we did. I don't know. But did I show this already? Did I show?
No, you did not, George Perez.
No,
Yeah.
George
You
Perez.
better have George Perez sign that.
Yeah, George Perez gonna sign this team.
That's very good. It's
Number 2, right? Is it number 2?
First appearance of Deathstroke.
Yeah.
John showed that today.
That's what that was, huh? Yeah, I knew somebody had just showed that. I was like, yeah.
Slade Wilson.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Newsstand legend. I got the newsstand.
Oh, newsstand.
I definitely want to hear Mr. Great Legend's opinion on this thing. I think that if you don't have a 9/8 in a book, get it signed by a creator portion of that book. In person, exactly. Don't you think it means more to you and to more but at the same point, if CGC will be there, get it slabbed too. Just you have the memory and it's verified.
That's it. You got it. You get that verified signature. You got the CGC. You got the best thing is them golden labels, and it's like JD says, it doesn't have to be a freaking 9/8 on everything. Maybe get that 8.5 or that 7.0 or 4.0 and just get it signed by some of the greatest artists and writers of all time. That's what I'm talking about. That's
like I got this. This is like 3.0, but I had to have it, and it's
Neil Adams,
signed by Neil Adams. Yeah.
Dude, Neil freaking Adams golden slab, that classic cover where he's breaking the chain.
Yeah.
I will show my Neil Adams signed jersey my hockey jersey signed by Neil Adams. He was doing Ranger stuff. Yeah, when I was playing, it was great.
Wow, that is so
the only one to
cool.
recognize who he was. They're like, oh, everybody's getting jerseys.
When you were playing, you used to play hockey or what?
I did back. I was an Orlando Solar Bear in 1994. 95.
Wow, he was an NHL guy.
I was IHL. Way. There was
That's pretty good HL though.
It was an HL without the Iron Curtain with the Iron Curtain still being up.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I was an Orlando Solar Bear and I was a Florida Everblade.
What position were you?
Shout out to Gills 311. He's in the chat.
Hey,
I
Gills.
was a forward. I was a center and a wing and pretty much wherever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
offensive guy, pretty much, right?
I was very offensive according to the referees.
Perfect.
I was very offensive.
Some of that Eric Lindros, or maybe some Guy Fedorov or something.
Maybe a little bit like
Messier, Mark Messier.
You're Mark Messier, Ty Doble.
Yeah, Mark Messier. Oh, number 11.
If you ever want to talk hockey, I'm the guy. I mean, my wife and I, we do hockey every night. We used to do hockey. We're doing it again with our kids, but we do hockey every night. We love it. We watch the NHL, and it's just one of those. It's my
That's
actually. You know what
cool,
the funny thing
man.
is? Above these comics is all my helmets.
Oh, that's cool.
It's so funny because you got every helmet. Oh, there's a Star-Lord helmet up there. I don't ever wear that in the game.
Only helmet I got for my motorcycle.
And Iron Man helmet over here, but there's a bunch of helmets up there that I had signed by every teammate ever had, which
awesome,
I cherish
man.
too. I do cherish that as well.
Man, I do love them slabs behind you, JD. You got some good-looking slabs. I see some Vision down there, bottom left. What?
That's
hey,
a John Buscema Vision.
Why am I saying Vision went up above? You got that Amazing Fantasy.
Yeah, that is it is a restored, but it is a Amazing Fantasy.
Hey, man, beautiful book, man. Restored by the professionals, I hope.
It was actually, I bought it in 1995 from a guy who's a very famous restored guy now.
Wow. Oh, my God, that's cool.
He practiced on that. I pretty much bought it for nothing. He was practicing on that, and it didn't work out so well, but I got the bottom half of the cover with a date stamp. So I don't have an entire. I mean, there's a few. There's a lot of cuts on it, but my favorite of the what's behind me, everybody asks, and it's right here. This is a Spider-Man 16 signed by the great Stan Lee.
Wow!
And I could tell you the day this was done. This was October. It was the day before Halloween, October 30th in 1989. I got it signed by Stan Lee. I was delivering newspapers to Sal Buscema's
Daily Bugle.
I was delivering newspapers, and it was their Halloween party. And it was a Friday night, and I dropped it off, and I knew it was who it was. And I'm a big comic book fan at the time. And I always got extra tips in here and there. That's why you got it. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I am very fortunate of growing up in New York City in my life, and very fortunate that I knew people in the, I guess wouldn't be in the industry, but my aunt was in the, she worked with Stan on a couple of articles about some World War II stuff back in the day.
Wow, that is so cool.
So I was able to get a lot of things, and I was delivering newspapers on my bike, but my mom has a Polaroid, and she wouldn't even give it to me, even for one of the, I said, Mom, I'm doing a video. I got like 50 subscribers on YouTube. I wanted to show the Polaroid. And
you may have to get your cell phone picture, take a cell phone pic of it next time.
I said, I got to go back to New York. I'm in Omaha, but I got to go back and see her. But she turned around. She goes, no, it's one of my favorite pictures. It's you on your bicycle delivering newspapers to those Italian boys. Those Italian boys are John and Sal Buscema, by the way.
Yeah. John Buscema.
That is the Italian people that my mom grew up in the neighborhood of them and talks about like the funny papers and everything. And that's one of those things where I grew up thinking like I didn't not know that Gil Kane was a couple of blocks over from my house. I didn't know this, but I knew it when I was older. When I'm like, Mom's like, why are you paying all that money for those funny papers?
I like that. That's how they called them, though. My grandparents called them that too.
But they bought me every one I ever wanted. I mean, I'm not kidding. My mom said, if you're reading, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
So
JD, yeah, man.
Oh, my next book.
Which book did you show? Like, didn't you just show 4 of them or something?
No. Those are, the real one is going to be this one. This is a John Buscema Daredevil that I got for $3. And the reason why this is a hunt book is because I actually have never found this book before everywhere. And the local comic shop got a stack of Savage Conans, which I love, and a bunch of Conans and a bunch of other Silver Surfer books. And I kind of deducted, I said, I'm missing a few of those. And that, again, I'm going to say it's the guy collect Buscema. He goes, yeah, it was a big Buscema collection. I said, well, he got rid of all the good stuff, but he left one out there. Now, this is not a key by any means, but it is a beautiful cover book, and it actually is a good storyline. And I love Gene Colan, but I will say that this is one of those rare. There's not many Daredevils, and to my good friend TJ Watson, who's a big Daredevil fan, I told him I will own every Daredevil done by John Buscema before this year is out. I have done it, my friend.
That's awesome. Congrats, man.
And I
got
didn't
that
spend
2018 goal done.
2018 goal was to go find it, and this is actually funny. He's getting hung, and this is a Hangman cover for all you pre-code horror fans that look for Hang or Bondage.
Love them scary hangings.
There are the 5, the Furious 5 in the pre-code rule, which is Bondage, Hanging, Flying Saucer, Vampire, and I'm gonna need Great Legend help me out with that one on the last one. I think it's
marijuana.
Marijuana or decapitation. Yeah.
Oh my God, decapitation.
Yeah. So what do you got, Legend? What do you got?
All right. So the next one I'm going to show you is pretty cool. Like I said earlier, sometimes during the comic books and all that, I get hardcovers.
Hulk Nuts in the house. What up?
Thank you, Hulk Nuts, for joining.
This one here, these are like, I get them on Amazon. I think this was like $22 or something. This is the Donald Duck, The Black Pearls of Tabuyama by Carl Barks. And this is volume 19 from the Carl Barks Fanographics series. And they're reprinting the original, all of his work that he did on the ducks and creating Duckburg and stuff. And this book is, like I said, volume 19. They started at volume 5. I guess they wanted to start because on the spine here, some of them will say Scrooge, like Scrooge, Uncle Scrooge or whatnot. But I'm guessing this one, well, he's on the cover, but this one probably has more Donald stuff. But the cool thing is it started 5, which was Christmas on Bear Mountain, which was Uncle Scrooge's first appearance in the comics and stuff. And just good stuff. Great work. I'm also a big Don Rosa fan, but volume 19 here. And then hopefully, they'll get to volume 30 and then they'll do volume 1 through 4. But I got about 15 or so of these, 16. Every time they release a new one, I've already got it pre-ordered and on the Amazon.
That's cool.
I'm a big Duck fan, Donald. So, and I think that's one of those when you see that book and I don't know if you paid a song for it or you paid a price for it, but that is one of those history books. I'd still say the 4-color books that came out.
Yeah, 4-color.
When those 4 colors came out, I actually, anytime I see them in antique shops, and if you go to antique shop, and if you're an old lady, if you're sit there and a guy and your wife wants to go antique and go.
Well,
go. You
will
those 4 colors right there.
Some Carl Barks.
Carl Barks is really
Carl Barks. You will find some. You might not find the original Scrooge, whatever it is, number 44, whatever it is, that Donald Duck book that everybody wants, but you might find another one. And the artwork in there is Disney artwork. Let's be honest. Walt Disney passed the torch to one man and one man only. And that's that book.
These books are great because at the back, you got Carl Barks' words and things he was thinking about. You got folks that have reviewed his work, and then you got those original, Dell 4-color covers like JD mentioned. And man, Golden Age, I tell you what,
it's hot, it's addicting.
It's so good, that smells good, looks good. I mean, even a damn 1.0, it looks dang good,
Carl Barks is classic too.
You know what?
Going down.
You know, Mr. Great Legend, I gotta agree with you on that because it's one of those things I have looked through. If you ever seen any of my con videos, I bring out a magnifying glass, a black light, a flashlight, white gloves.
Definitely need your black light.
Yeah, I definitely need that. But when you're going for Golden Age, you're just looking to say, is it together? Is it that's an that's a Keith Elias cover if it's a horror, or if it's an LB Cole color cover if it's one of them World War II ones.
Cole, man, you gotta love that plastic, man.
Or a Schoenberg or something. I love it.
Man, I wish I was in the other room. I would go grab you that Police Comics #1.
You know what? I think well, I know for tonight for sure. You will not be unpleased tonight because I have 2 Golden Age to bring out.
Man, I can't wait to
one
see
is
those.
A slab, one is a slab, but I don't have any of my crime ones. I don't have my crime ones here. Actually, I'm working with CGC. I was on last night on Bueller Show. CGC is actually listening to me, and they have responded like 9 times for the last 2 weeks
about sponsor our show.
About John? No, about well, I don't think so. They're not going to sponsor. God, I mean, they're actually. I actually am trying to let them recognize John Buscema's first work because they keep saying Strange Tales 150 is the first John Buscema Marvel work, and it's on slabs. And they were like shocked when I said it. I said, well, you put it on slabs. And they're like, well, we don't normally put that there. I said, well, yeah, but you're incorrect. It's not the first one. And I showed him everything. And I have a letter from the granddaughter. I have a letter from a bunch of people and everything else that I've been researching. I mean, I researched if you think my video, my own personal thing for John Buscema was to make sure I had everything possible I could have
of him,
of him, other than original artwork, which I only have those 2 cards, but that's all right. But CGC literally has said we are looking into this, and you and the woman Cynthia, actually, what I talked to Reggie about last night, Cynthia said to me flat out saying, we have contacted the people that you have mentioned, and we did not know that you were in contact with them. So I was like,
so now they know that it's legit. They know you're legit too.
Yeah, but honestly, it's all crime books, and I love the crime books. It's like lawbreakers always losing, crime fighters. I love that stuff.
What was that? The Yank, the fighting Yank.
Jeffrey, fighting Yank is no joke. He wore that that tricolor hat. He fought everybody.
So Jeffrey, he did. Let's get back to the hood. And Jeff, what book you got, man?
Okay, this one is first off, I want to give a shout out to we got some new people in the chat right here. Where was it? We got I'm losing my freaking thing. Mo. What's up, Mo and Punisher Comics and Mo? Thank you guys for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much, Punisher Comics and Mo. Thank you very much.
I got this.
Tell us who your favorite. Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, wait.
This isn't the super crazy expensive one. This is like the 2 issues after it. This is issue 149. I forgot this one for $1. It's probably worth about. It's in perfect shape, and according to like High Key Collector, it says like $3. So, but that's still awesome, something fun and good. It's first appearance of the Strange Visitor, formerly Kismet. If any of you know who that is.
I do know who Kismet is. Actually, it's one of those DC characters. I actually know who it is.
DC.
I'm a DC Swamp Thing / Green Arrow kind of guy.
Well, it's my turn, right?
Show is
Tony's turn.
All right. So now this is more like a purchase that I got while I was out hunting for at my buddy's shop. It is for not me, but my son, and you know what my son likes. And my son is waiting for this movie to drop or a TV show to drop, and he's a fan of Moon Knight.
Oh, Moon Knight,
Moon Knight, love. I love it.
Moon Knight #1, right there.
That'd make a great TV show, man. Have him.
I'm waiting on it.
Yeah.
Which one? Like what series though? Because like I found Moon Knight really hard to get into.
Well, if you think it's hard to get, don't start with David Finch. Start with the original writing. What he's got right there in front of you is the best one to start with.
Yeah, right, because I've got like issue number 6, 7, and 8 of this original run, and it's just like I don't know. The guy's bouncing all over the place with his identity, and it's just.
Well, you know that he's a Rorschach kind of guy. You know, he's got some head problems.
Yeah.
The one thing about Marvel, every superhero should sit down with a shrink at one point. You know, every one of them. It's not like DC where they're golden gods, other than the Batman, but they're all golden gods. In Marvel, they all have issues. Like all villains have issues, and maybe some of them aren't so bad. Where in DC, they're all bad from day one. They're born. You know?
Yeah.
Other than Carnage in Marvel, there's not a good thing anybody has ever said about Carnage. Don't even bring that up. Who's up? Is it me, Tony?
Yep, you were up.
Okay, I'm going to show you a book, and we are only 11 days away. If you remember, I did a birthday video. It was my birthday, and part of that book that I showed you, that Apache Kid, was a guy who I paid for the Apache Kid for $15, but this came with it.
Oh,
wow!
I never owned it. I've never owned it. No nipple Submariner. But it is a I love this. I've read the series on that lovely on a trade paperback or a hard probably a trade paperback. If you ever watched the John B. Steven video, I had the bubbles coming up on there, and actually he bought me a second book from that, which is going to be another one. He said, "Do you own these books?" And I said, "No." And it was a local guy here in town who I have had books with him and bought and purchased high grade books. He's the guy with a better collection than I do. He makes behind me look like bad, like not even close. Yeah.
Wow. Well, what do you got? Great Legend. Oh, were you doing?
And your turn, Tony?
No, it's Great Legend's turn.
All right, this one's really cool. This is kind of along the lines of the Carl Barks, and they both came in at the same time. But it's this thing here. It's Don Rosa's volume 9 and 10.
I was waiting for you to bring out a Don Rosa.
Don freaking Rosa, one of my freaking favorites. I've got autographs by him, and I still need to hang some of them up. I got two. I got Tales from the Coop, which is like Tales from the Crypt.
Yep.
Don Rosa. And I have the one Fantastic Four #4. You're a big Namor fan, so it's got Gander running.
The duck running right behind him.
Oh, so that's classic. And then the Human Torch character on there is like Huey, Dewey, and Louie all like on fire. So yeah, I love Don Rosa. And this is the final. This is volumes 9 and 10. So he had a 10. His was 10 volumes, all of his work. Normally, I was buying these singles, you know, but if you buy like this thing, I mean, it was like really, you know, this still $49.99, but you know, Amazon has it. If you pre-ordered, Amazon has it for like $24 or something.
You
get two of these books. I mean, they're like they're bigger than the Carl Barks, and but you know, Don Rosa, man, he was a different. I mean, I like Carl Barks, but Don Rosa did Barks, you know, a lot. Did him real good, you know.
Well, you know, when Steamboat Willie showed out, and you had Black Bart show up in the next one in 1928. When Walt Disney, from the story I've told, I always wanted to read the Don Rosa autobiography, because he actually tells a story that Walt Disney approached him. This is a man who currently is in his 90s, who approached him and asked him. He said, "Would you mind drawing the bad guy?" And he goes, "How bad do you want him to be?" And he said, "Make him look like you."
Ooh.
So apparently that Black Bart. Oh, I'm sorry,
Peg Leg Pete or something.
Yeah, it was whatever the bad Black Bart or Bad Bart or it was one of those. Is actually Don Rosa drew himself. Sorry.
Oh, he drew himself though. That is freaking funny.
Well, what do you got, Jeff?
I have Superman issue number 160.
Oh, Ed McGuinness.
Oh, yep.
Classic. This is the beginning of the Emperor Joker run. It's like you get some kind of like mind-altering powers. It's first appearance of the Bizarro and first appearance of Scorch.
Nice.
I mean, I got it for $2. It's not worth, like, I mean, it's in good shape. It's not like high price, maybe like a $6 book according to the Key Collector Comics app.
McGuinness covers are stellar on that
man.
Well, yeah, it's a Jeff Loeb story, so I mean,
I like Jeff. I actually do like
Loeb
Jeff.
does. good.
Yeah.
I think he's a phenomenal writer. I think he's one of
Yeah,
those writers today that you should focus on. You know,
I think he's good. I agree.
All right, so I got a book right here. It's a sort of a key. Now, some people argue about cameos and first appearances, and I always say I've posted this on Instagram, and I called it the cameo. And this is the cameo first appearance of Venom on the cover.
That's right. Yep. Good book.
Actually, Tony, you watched my video where I mentioned 315 is the first appearance of Venom on a cover.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I call it a cameo though.
I don't know. That is a first appearance. He's
right.
I mean,
it's just the head. It's just the head.
Well, he doesn't. Honest to God, I mean, I have my 3. It's right here behind my 300. Here's my 300, and right behind is my 316. And I will tell you this: my 316, which I tell everybody,
John 316.
That's it. Perfect.
John 316 says one thing: is that 315 is my first.
I just whipped your ass.
Yeah. And by the way, John 316 also says that this is not my first appearance, but Web of Spider-Man 20, Web of Spider-Man 18. I'm just throwing it out there because if he's a Venom character, I mean, this is he's not on the cover. And I've actually on one of the videos I did a one of my Venom videos I discussed that. So, who's up? Am I up or
Tony?
No, I already did. So it's it's actually JD.
What number are we up to?
We got one more. We got 2 more books. No, wait, we got 1 more book, and then we got the
Christmas special,
the Christmas one, and then the
right
significant. Wait, no, wait.
Yeah, you're right.
Christmas Hustle, and then significant. What is it? First appearance on the cover.
So I only have 3 more to go. Right after
4.
this one.
Yeah,
3.
Yeah.
Well, this is the other one in my video, in my John Buscema video, which I did not own, which was Conan 59, which you could see the same place, same price tag, the same owner. I actually told the owner of the shop that I was doing a John Buscema thing, and I was looking for a specific book, and he's the one who sent me the previous book that I mentioned, which wasn't the Submariner for free, and he sent me the books in my video, and he said, "Do you own Conan 59?" I said, "No, it's not a significant book. This you could probably find in your $2, $3 bin." However, if you watch my Buscema video, this is the one I put the fire on, and this is and to me personally, I actually owned this book at one time, and I lost this book in a camping trip. And I can tell you right now, you want to laugh? It's in Livingston Manor, New York, which is way upstate New York by Niagara Falls. And I lost this and about 13 other comic books, which I don't want to know what else came out this month, so don't tell me. But I bought them all on the way up, but I lost them all because I left my trunk out when we pulled over to a stop. We're going up to play hockey up in Canada. I'm 14. And I never put my trunk back in the bus. So the next time I realized it, we are like 9 to 10 hours away. And I had no clothes for that weekend, but I missed this book. And I know this book came out that time. It's a 25 center. So that would totally make sense to be during that time.
Awesome.
But I remember owning this book.
So what do you got, Legend?
I'm gonna have to run and go grab a first appearance. Well, I've got a first, but you want first appearance on a cover, right?
Yeah.
All right, we'll go. I'll run and go grab one of those real quick. But check this out. These bad boys here, they all came from eBay, and I got them a little less than cover, but you know when you put that shipping on there, you get kind of messed over. But I got the little Scotty Young #2 of Invisible Woman.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I had the one. I got the Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic on issue 1, but I hadn't got these other ones, and I love that one. That is just freaking awesome.
How often does Scotty Young come down to Texas, Mr. Great Legend?
Man, I don't know, but I will get these signed when he does. I'm going to the C2E. Is he going to be at the C2E2?
I don't know if he's going to be, but he will definitely be a Planet the week after in Kansas City, which isn't far from you. And I will tell you this: I have known Scotty Young, and I have. If you behind the Fantastic Four over there, there's a Tupperware that I've shown people. That is an entire box of Scotty Young signed covers for my children.
Wow, that is cool. You're keeping them just literally, for the kiddos.
He literally will sit there, and I said, he's like, I'll sign anything you have. And I said, I have like 15. And he's like, I'll sign each one.
Let's go.
And I started talking to him, and he's like, dude, you and I are this. And this was, he's like, I've seen you at cons, and we had a long discussion. He's like, I feel like I've known you because you've always come over to me and always talked to me and appreciate me and stuff like that.
It's that hat, man.
Well, that's the funny thing is because sometimes I'm dressed in like other gear, but he's like, but he always said one thing. He goes, I always remember you always saying the same thing every time. Hey, Scotty, I really respect you first. And that was one of the things where I actually, when he did this, I actually emailed the most recent.
Wow.
This was a week ago. He put this out. I emailed him, and I want to put, if I could put the email up on here, I would. He emailed me back this whole story about this. And he said, he goes, I honestly thought about you when I was doing this. When I said I was doing a Silver Surfer, the words out of your mouth were don't F it up. And I'm like, please don't. And I thought he was talking about this. And I saw this first, right? I saw a prelim of this first, the Defenders. But I said,
that one there.
You done F it up. But now he didn't. Now he didn't with there. And I said, just give a tribute to Buscema on there, which was all these red things was all he added afterwards. And that's one of the things that, you know, Scotty Young is one of those guys that if you ever want to meet him, if you have a child, or even if you are a child at heart, he will totally 100% talk to you and anything else. And he knows he's just a guy who can draw children well. Like Jason Meents, who I think is one of those underrated people. Jason Meents and Scotty Young are the ones that do a lot of the children covers. They'll do it right out there.
That's awesome.
Jeffrey,
and by the way, great legend. Thank you so much for showing the Scotty Young, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to forward this over to Scotty, and Scotty say, hey, would it kill you to watch us and subscribe to us and maybe do a show with me?
Yeah, man, get your boy Scotty Young on here, dude. That'd be like one of the best ever. I'd be
honest to God, Scotty Young and Jason Aaron have both been my friends for at least I've known them both for 13 years. Oh, yeah, what years? Since 2002, I've known both of them. So,
dude, we'll get a date with them, pump it up, and man, everyone will come to see the JD do what he does best, and that's host awesome guest.
Yeah. Well, Jeffrey, what have you been? Jeffrey,
I got Superman issue number 162.
Hey, look at them babies!
Look at the babies.
First appearance of Red Superman. I don't know if it's the only appearance because I'd never even heard of Red Superman, but
that's awesome.
This has Red Superman in here. A key comic book collector has this graded at a high value of 175.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to ask you right now, what number is that? That's
162.
162. That's got to be in
1968.
Yeah, I'm saying it's before 1970. Yeah,
that looks like a little Kurt Swan.
I was gonna say, is it a Kurt Swan or Nick Cardy? I mean, we talking about here?
Both close to that time.
Yeah, that's a beautiful cover.
Yeah, I haven't read it. I took it out and looked at it. The cover's still attached. One staple. It is detached from one of the staples. The staple's still there, but I mean, I paid $3 for it. Like I said,
sold right there, man.
Yeah. So
yeah. If I see any book older than I am, I buy it.
Oh, for sure, right?
But for $2, $3, and honest to God, Jeffrey, I think that might be. I don't want to know what you'll bring it to the hunt if that's what I got to compete with.
Well, let's see. Well, since JD already showed the other book I was going to show. This is the one I was going to show, which was what I say is the first full appearance.
I apologize, Tony. I did not know.
316, but yeah.
Tony, I apologize. I did not know you were bringing out McFarlane 3 times tonight.
I'm not done. But yeah, that was the one I picked up. It's 8.0 slab. Didn't pay a lot for it, but I just had to have it in my collection to go, with the other stuff I got up there. So
For sure. Nice.
So
I guess I'm up for my last book before we get into the specials.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is a shout out to Midtown Comics, who I have been a subscriber to since the beginning, and everything else. And at the end of every year, they give you a little credit back to your account. And December came, and I didn't have anything I really wanted, but they put a lot of money on my credit, and they says you can use this towards any 2 books. And I decided to use it all on one book only. And when this book came out, it had more to do with sentimental value and probably the last one. But I did get it, and it is a variant, but it is the John Buscema 1 in 200 variant.
Whoa, nice.
And I paid $88. And actually, I was kind of upset that I paid shipping for it. Mm-hmm. This was my Christmas gift from Midtown Comics. Now, I've had my pull list from them. Let me explain this. I know those guys because those guys that bought that shop I've known them when we were riding bikes together growing up. So we all grew up around the same neighborhood. We all grew up going to Cosmic Comics, and we all talk about our Stan Lee signed books. And a lot of people talk about us getting our original artwork. Because I do have a lot of original artwork from guys that a lot of people. I have a lot of Ellen Pelham work. I have a lot of great original artwork that I don't display because it's up and it's in storage for a reason. It's from my family. But I will say one thing. One thing about Midtown Comics is that they do take care of their lifers, and the fact that I pay half price what everybody else pays on everything else, and everything else that they Reggie got a sponsor and everybody else got a sponsor. They have been in contact with me. I don't have enough subscribers yet, and I'm not asking for subscribers. I don't even want to get sponsored because I don't want to do anything else. But Midtown Comics is looking for somebody to sit there and say, hey, if you're interested in back issues, check them out. And I'll be honest with you, the problem is that you're not going to be able to look at them, but they're guys that are grading are pretty good. They're pretty good. But I will say this. My favorite thing I got this week was, as you know, I'm a huge John Buscema fan, and this was actually my birthday present from Midtown Comics. And I am actually going to send this in to get slabbed. And I've never sent in a book to get slabbed this early. But the only reason why I want to do it is because, and this is my thing. If you ever saw everybody's like, buy the Virgin cover. Every cover of Silver Surfer has that logo, and that's what I want. I want
a classic logo.
Actually, I've kind of been woken up saying, oh, if you pay $10 more, you can get the Virgin cover. I'm like, so I'm going to pay $10 more for a cover that doesn't have the most important part?
Exactly.
So, while I might be drinking the variant Kool-Aid once again, I'm not drinking it all the way down.
So y'all ready to get the competition rolling?
I definitely want to. Sorry, Tony.
All right.
I think I won ugly sweater contest, unless you count.
No.
You got that one.
You got that one. You won that one.
You told me it was ugly.
It's not even that ugly. Like, I don't even know if that qualifies for ugly sweater.
Is this a hates? Did you notice that Ryan Reynolds got hates by like Hugh Jackman? Hazed or made fun of by Hugh Jackman and the Gyllenhaal character, Jake Gyllenhaal. They invited him to a party and told him it was an ugly sweater party, and he wore an ugly sweater, and he showed up, and he was the only one wearing an ugly sweater, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's me. That's me today. Because Tony, you told me I was supposed to wear an ugly sweater.
I told you, I was like, you can wear it.
No, you told me to wear an ugly sweater.
Yeah, I was
he's got it on.
I was like, wear your ugly sweater, but wear your signature hat.
What are we doing first? The Christmas book, or the first appearance, or the hustle?
We can do the let's do the Christmas book. Let's do that.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Or you want to do it last?
I don't care.
Don't matter to me.
Let's do the first appearance last.
First appearance left is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll do the Christmas.
Christmas first.
It's time. All right. So we
Great
got
Legend
this.
leads it off.
Earlier, I showed the cover A on.
Are you locked in the bathroom, Legend? Like, I swear it looks like you're sitting on the toilet all night, like in your bathroom.
I just do different rooms. Like, there's so many different rooms. Like, I do the one in the fish tank. This is the dining room. This is the wall. That's a
All
baker's
right.
rack. It's
Got it. I thought you were like in the bathroom and the baker's rack was like, you know, like next to your toilet.
Yeah.
And, yeah, all right.
Those baker's racks, they're good. I mean, they do all kind of stuff with them. But this is so cool. I showed cover A. This is cover B. Green Lantern. Larflea's Christmas Special.
Oh,
You got little candy canes and stuff on the bottom. He said, you know, kind of like Scrooge, this is my special. So, man, it's really cool. Guys, Greg Ha or something like that did the cover of cover B. This one's his cover A. That's the one I showed on the Comic Core. It's more he's in the middle of like the town, and Green Lantern's trying to stop him. But basically, it's Grinch who stole Christmas.
Nice.
But man, I just love this cover. I got both of these back in the day, like for like $9.99. Man, I just huge fan of Agent Orange and Jeff Johns' run on Lanterns, and reading about Larfleeze has just been great. He's a really good character, real funny too.
Sweet.
Hey Jeffrey, how many people in the chat right now?
23.
Okay, those 23
Nice.
people are going to decide who the winner of the best Christmas one is. And I have a gift. If I win the Christmas one, you don't owe me anything. But if you win the Christmas one, I have a gift for you. So if you beat me, you're getting a gift.
Okay.
Throw it out there.
all right.
Those
Jeff,
23 people, you got to go.
What you
I
got?
got Deadpool issue number 7, the slimy Christmas variant. I was looking for Hulk 378.
I got
but
that.
I couldn't find it anywhere, so I picked this one up.
Mm-hmm.
I had too many backups.
Nice.
I like that Deadpool.
Yeah, I needed a Christmas cover. I couldn't find the one I wanted. That was my backup choice, so I went with it.
I had Amazing Murfinator sent me the Billy Tucci signed a book, and the cover is Mother Mary and Baby Jesus. And
I love that book. I love that book.
And I was going to show that one because, you know, I love Murph and I love Jesus. And
I love Murph, and I would
Yeah,
have that literally.
Find
I have that.
there he
book.
is. There he is on Jeffrey's shirt.
I actually that's a huge book in my life. That's a huge one.
And I don't know where I put it. I can't find it. I know it's in my room somewhere.
I actually look for that artist's original artwork. He does a PA top piece that I am Mr. TJ Watson and I have been in discussion to actually look for to buy him to Mr. TJ Watson. I just want to make the king of slabs, or slab dragon as you guys call him.
Yeah, king of slabs, slab
Slab, crackle, and pop.
He's a wonderful man and wonderful everything else, but I'm there's something that he really likes that I'm trying to find for him that I think I might have an into that, but that book was the reason why, Mr.
Dang, that's so cool, man. That's so cool.
All right, well, let me show what I got. I went a little different route.
Spider-Man?
No, it's a little different route. Now I did have a
Booster
book
Gold?
No,
I got a question. I got a quick question, Tony.
Yeah.
I'm loving Ted Cord and Booster Funkos back there. Freaking awesome.
Yeah.
God, that is so dang cool. All right, well, you know what? Dang, I was gonna go get that Ted Cord, but I'm gonna leave. I got another first appearance.
Right. I went with the little horror there. They got Bizarre Adventures number 34.
Wow.
And it's the last one. It's the last issue of this. They said
that's cool. I like that.
So
not for the kiddies.
Man,
I love a little horror, man. It's fun.
So I went with that, you know. I wish DS Comics was here. If DS Comics was here, he would love this. This is for DS Comics.
DS Comics.
Yeah. So I went with this, you know,
Come here, sweetheart.
little skeleton, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that one's tight. I like that.
Great.
All right. Well, I'm going to say this right now. Now, what do you guys pulled the Hulk? Well, the Hulk fights Santa.
I couldn't.
I own it. I own it.
No.
I put it down because I didn't buy it this week.
No.
And the same thing with the Spider-Man getting kicked out of his apartment.
Wait.
I didn't buy it this week. You know, there's
Right.
a bunch of great ones, but one thing I did find this week.
Wait. Hey, that was
I had to pay a
that was
premium.
my backup.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
That was my backup.
Nice book.
And
That snow book.
I paid a premium in my local shop changed locations, and it was 20% off or 50% off the back issues until they moved to the new location. So as they're moving, I tell them, I said, hey, I gotta find me any Christmas books for half price, whatever like that, and they didn't find me one, but a guy on the CGC website found me one, and I buy a lot of stuff from him. Here and there, and so we get, we negotiate. But if you like the horror and you like the Christmas, I'm afraid to show it. I don't want to win on this, but this is the winner, fellas. This is a witching
look
hour.
at that one, a witching hour book.
This is witching hour. Yep, witching hour 28 February.
Dang.
It's an old book.
I almost bought that. I almost bought that.
If you've ever seen this book before, the story inside is worth more than the cover. I'm kidding you. That I actually bought this book, sat it, and I'm sitting in a traffic light, and I went to go get a little bit of fast food here while I was sitting waiting for the car and everything else to get done. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, let me read this book. It's not that expensive here and there. Let me read this book. This was on Saturday. And I sat there and I said, gee, you got to read this storyline. And I find out that the storyline is Neil Adams did the artwork on the inside.
Phenomenal.
And it's like, well, maybe it's captivating by that. But if you want to know something true, Santa Claus is a skeleton. And if you look carefully, if you don't know Witching Hour, I apologize. But if you do know Witching Hour, I recommend Witching Hour. No, see, the thing about Witching Hour is Witching Hour reminds me of the old school prequel
Tales from the
horror.
Dark Side,
Right,
maybe.
because there's always something innocent and always something villainous.
Yeah.
And it's always good reason. He goes, and literally there's a mom there, or a mom or a woman who says, okay, kids, it's time to meet him. And there's a beautiful Christmas tree and everything right there. Then you see
go behind that curtain and you're going to get a freak show.
Yeah. You know, if you ever seen one of my one where it was I did the I don't know who I apologize whoever did the one that was a celebration video to celebrate his two. Well, I did that one, but there was another one where a guy put out like 100 subscriber, and you had to show like either a wedding or a birthday. And I showed a birthday where it's a Sweet 16, where it was a Sweet 16. It was a Witching Hour as well. Witching Hour is an underrated DC book, and actually, that's the funny thing is like
I don't know. I think the Santa crumbling up out of the
Marvel weirdness.
I don't know. So let's see what the chat has to say.
Let's vote for the chat. I have no idea what the bet. I went 20.
This is a Joe Juiceco cover right here. This is Joe Juiceco.
I went 20 center, and I went digging for this one.
Well, let's see what the chat says. We got 24 people. Let's see what we got going on.
What do you guys think? Which cover takes it? Oh, I got to vote.
I do like Jeffrey's.
Probably the only one though.
I could have brought out the Spider-Man and Hulk. I have both of those, but I own them. But it had to be I purchased in the last 2 weeks. So this is one that I actually look for. So
I got to vote.
Yeah, I got issues just for the Christmas books.
Did anybody vote for the Witching Hour? I have no idea.
So far, it's Jeffrey.
Yeah, you got a couple. I
got one vote.
Oh, I got 4.
I got 2 votes. Jeffrey, you got like you got 4, like 4.
Well, good for Jeffrey.
It's a feel-good story of the year. Oh, I got 5. Wow.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna see. Yeah, I think Jeffrey's got pulling away with it.
Mr. Great Legend, I have a question for you. You've been a huge wrestling guy in your life, but I was a huge wrestling guy But I'm going to tell you something right here. I used to deliver newspapers for Newsday in New York.
Wow.
Hi, Sunshine. Good to see you.
And the thing was, if you had 5 new subscribers, you got free tickets to any event you wanted. So we always chose the wrestling. Included that. This was 1984, 1985.
Wow.
So I got to go see WrestleMania 1.
Wow, dude, that is freaking as economics and comics, man. That is sick right there.
If anybody is a wrestling fan, I wasn't
WrestleMania.
Eye of the Tiger played and Mr. T walked out, and I'm like, not that far away. And that was the first time I ever saw wrestling or professional wrestling live. We as much as we have been close to Stanford and everything else.
Any more votes out there? You guys want?
But the next year was WrestleMania 2, and if nobody remembers any of that. That was the first time it was like done in like 5 different parts of the country.
Yeah, like 3 parts.
Yeah, I don't remember how many.
They had Lawrence Taylor and Bam Bam in the Battle Royal.
No. That was way later because I went to that in Hartford, Connecticut. I saw that one too. But I went to
maybe Andre won a Battle Royal or something.
No, it was WrestleMania 2 was King Kong Bundy.
Oh, and the blue cage.
Wait, was WrestleMania 2? All right. Was WrestleMania 2 the one with Ricky
Hulk Hogan versus King Kong? I had to watch that on the screen. I paid tickets. We bought tickets to go watch Roddy Piper fight Mr. T.
Mr. T or whatever.
Right. and then a screen dropped, and then Hulk Hogan fought King
Bundy
Kong Bundy.
The cage.
Yeah, this is my introduction to wrestling. And it was hysterical because my uncle sitting next to me who has been to everything with us. My uncle was literally like the wrestling guy. Made us go to everything. He's like, "Oh, did you sell enough paper?" And he took me to everything at Nassau Coliseum. But I went to the first one where there was a guy, and this is the only back, or what they call it nowadays. They said they should call it kayfabe, which is yeah. Adrian Adonis was a guy who was the Terror in Leather, who they made him adorable Adrian Adonis. But he was a badass guy. But this guy could rock a guitar. So we're sitting there like rock guitar. So afterwards, I'm like 15, 16, and I'm not a 15, 16-year-old you'd want as a son. I'm a little bit of a renegade, a little bit of a rebel kid, and everything else. And I'm getting into trouble here and there. I'm a 15-year-old you don't want to hang out with, but maybe you do. But anyway, I'm bringing this guy back, this wrestler back, and I said, okay, we're at Nassau Coliseum. When we come back, we go to this bar, and we're in a bar in Long Island, New York. We're sitting there, and we're doing everything else, and we don't know what's going on, but he starts playing the guitar, and I kid you not, he starts playing Cat Scratch Fever by Ted Nugent.
Damn.
Not even he's not even an amateur, right? He's not even an amateur. Yeah. He's playing it like a pro, and he starts railing on a guitar. The band that's there is like giving it up to him, and they're singing songs with him and everything else. And I'm 16 years old, and he's like, "Do you have a ride home?" I'm like, "Dude, I don't even have a driver's license." And so we're sitting there, and the moral of the story is that if it wasn't for comic books and a guy who actually helped me out, he goes, "You shop at my shop all the time?" I'm like, "Yes." He goes, "Are you all right?" I'm like, "No, I shouldn't be in this bar. It's like 1 a.m, and I got school in the morning, high school." And he's like, let me get you out of here. He goes, "You got to grab him too." And he grabbed Adrian Adonis or whatever. He was called the Terror in Leather back then. But
yeah, I know Adonis. I remember old Brutus Beefcake gave him a good haircut at one of the.
Yeah, it was one of those things. When you guys talk about wrestling, I always like, God, I miss those days.
Yeah, the good old days right there.
Yeah.
So Jeffrey won the Christmas.
Good for you, Jeffrey.
So Jeffrey won the Christmas.
I guess we shouldn't have got pre-code hard there. You, Mr. Mr. Great Legend, and I are still stuck in the horror days.
The good golden age. I like those haunted horrors IDW put out.
Oh wait, my hunt of the week is a slabbed book.
Oh, I like that. The slabs. Let's get to it.
Let's get to the. So we're doing the hustle of the week right now.
Are we?
Hustle? My hustle and the next book are connected. So
Mine too.
Mine too. My hustle and the next book are connected.
Okay, well, this is gonna be quick.
Well, it's connected because I bought them from the same guy at the same time, and I had him ship them. Mine were in Europe for like 4 days. Like they were in Europe for a while. So,
all right. Well, let me go real quick.
Yeah.
All right. So now the hunt. I don't have. I got a couple comic shops in my town. I haven't been to them yet. They're pretty new. So basically, I get all my books on mycomicshop.com or on eBay or whatnot. This book, you can't vote on this one because I didn't get it in the past 2 weeks. But it's really cool. It was the biggest book I bought in 2018.
I want to see it more than anything else.
I didn't buy a lot of big books, but I've got this book here. This
is there
the biggest one. It's a Golden Age.
You know I'm gonna love that.
And it's an upgrade. I used to have a 4.0 restored book of this, but I went ahead and sold it, and I decided to go ahead and upgrade. It's Blue Label, Wiz Comics 25.
Oh my God! If you're a DC fan, and if you are any kind of fan of comics of that era, that is the book.
It was part 3 in a trilogy of the actually it's part 2, I guess.
Yeah, part 3 is the Marvel family.
Yeah, with and then what's his face, Freddie Freeman gets his revenge on that Captain Nazi.
Exactly.
But this one was when he got beat with the oar, and then Captain Nazi threw his grandpa overboard and beat him up too.
I've never seen that live, and this is that an 8?
Or a 6.0, pretty good.
That's a 6. Yeah. I was looking for like a 2.5 or something, but I see a 6, and I'm like, anytime you have a Golden Age book that's a higher than a 2,
higher than a 2. Yeah,
honest to God, I think Great Legend and I agree with this. Higher than a 0.5, you love it.
Yeah, I love this book. I love Freddie Freeman.
So pretty.
Captain Marvel Jr. is awesome.
Legend. They already said you won. They said
and CC Beck didn't do that cover, but you had Freddie Freeman do it.
Yeah, this was France Aaron's story, but yeah, Mac Raboy art, but it's CC Beck cover.
I love the CC Beck.
CC Beck.
I mean,
you got that My Three Sons guy, Fred McMurray's face right there.
You ever see my Three Sons? It's not just shoes moving. I mean, it's straight up just CC Beck, and I'm a huge CC Beck fan. I actually on my birthday video I did was that Shazam, where I said this is the only Shazam book I own, and it's done by CC Beck, and everybody's like, that's such an iconic book, and I'm like,
so what do you got?
Here's real quick. Here's old Freddie Freeman in the.
I got a Tyler Kirkham variant for Venom issue #1. This was actually a gift from my LCS for free. I was trying to find out some numbers on it online. Yeah, Christmas gift. It was a raffle. It was a guy who actually won it never claimed it, so they gave it to me for free. I was trying to find out numbers on it. I could not find any numbers on it. I know it was
I can tell you all about it. I have every single one of the Tyler Kirkham.
Do you? Because you had to buy it in the pack, right?
Yes, you did. You did not. You could not just buy that one in its own. You had to buy all 3 of them.
That's how they get you.
Right?
That's exactly how they get you. But this is how I'm going to get Mr. Jeffrey to go to C2E2 with Tony Sanders and I.
That would be awesome, Jeffrey.
I think Tony and I mean, I will be honest with you, and I'll tell you, like, Tony, I think we should help Jeffrey in any way, shape to get to C2E2. Because I want him to take that book and have it signed by Mr. Kirkland.
Yeah, Kirkland
will be at C2E2 in front of us, and we give him a big hug. And that's my Christmas gift to Mr. Jeffrey Komikhan. Is I'm going to make sure you get your tail to that show.
I think you've been drinking too much, JD.
Well, where you don't live in Asia, do you?
No, California.
Oh, you're okay. I got a bus pass for you. You'll be fine.
Hey, I take the train anywhere, buddy.
Okay, so the book I got, it's my hustle and it's my first appearance.
You can't do both. You told me I couldn't do both.
Well, I mean, like I got to. I don't. I mean, like I got to do it. And it's like, I mean, like there's no way I can really get around it. I mean, I could, but not really. So I got this book from my buddy's shop. It was 4 books. So I got it with that the Teen Titans #2, and that Moon Knight and another book, and it was like those 4 books, and I paid all together it was $75. So I bought this book right here for it was $18, I guess, and some change. If you divided, like if you divided it up,
yeah.
So and this is my first.
Unless you bought 3 fucking, sorry, 3 3 Savage Dragons and then that book.
No,
Hell yeah.
But
Savage Dragon.
This book is a first appearance, and it is a key, and it counts as my. I'm gonna have to do it. It's gonna have to be both of them.
Break your own rules.
You can break it too. You're the host. So, forgive me, but
Woo! Carnage
first appearance, Bagley in his best.
Be careful with your fingers. That thing ticks
Oh,
up a bit.
I know, yeah. But
There you go.
Not newsstand.
Oh, JD breaking the man's heart, man. No, Tony, I love it. I love it.
I know. Look at Jay.
I'm not busting balls at all. I'm just saying.
Newsstand.
You want to bring a newsstand?
9-8. Rock.
9-8.
Newsstand rock.
You trying to bring a direct to a newsstand gunfight or whatever? Not to a gunfight.
I used to pay with my. I honestly used to pay for my comics with Subway tokens, and my parents would give me every day. Every week, I'd get the $10 Subway tokens in the 80s to go, take the bus, Subway, and whatever, and you get a trans. It was different back in the day. Nowadays, it's all Metro card. I don't even understand that, but back in the day, it was tokens. And I'm a city kid through and through. That's why I'm raising my family in a city. But what I used to do is I used to take those tokens, but the newsstand guys that would sell newspapers, books, cigarettes, comics, and candy.
Cigarettes?
Just straight up cigarettes. If you literally could walk, you could buy a cigarette. I'll be honest with you. I started smoking at 12 because of them. I quit smoking quick, but whatever. This was Jeffrey, I'm 45, so nobody cared about smoking until the mid 90s. So I was well into college before anybody said, "Yeah, it might hurt you."
Right.
But anyway, I used to bring a token, and I would get a free token every day to go to school, or 2 free tokens, and that's $2. And you're talking a kid going to 7th and 8th grade. I'd buy comics because they were only $1 at that time, or 75 cents. Depends on what year it was, because I started in 7th grade, they were 75 cents, and then they bucked up a quarter. And everyone's like, oh my God. Everybody's complaining about $5 a book right now, or $4 a book, and that's a huge thing. But to go from 75 cents to $1 was $5 a week. It was a big deal for me. But I literally appreciate the newsstand, because that's where I bought most of my books. And actually, most of my unboxing videos, when I show a newsstand, I actually show the date on the back I bought it. And that's one of those
sweet
nerd things. It says like 6 of 90. 6 of 90. And I remember where I was where I bought it. So Jeff, by the way, Tony, you're killing me with this, because I could double down. Am I supposed to do my hustle? Because they're
double down.
I'll tell you what. Can I start the hustle of the week with? It's hustle of the week, right? We're doing right now.
Yeah, we're doing the hustle. Yeah.
I'm going to do hustle of the week, and
your first significant
first experience are going to be 2 different books, but at the same time, because I bought them both for literally they are combined. And I will show you the box and the receipt if you wish.
Nah, we got you.
Yeah. It's all good. Let's see that book.
Okay. $200. Okay, ready? $200. I got 2 books.
All right.
200 US. One.
Quit.
This is not
all right.
This is not a first appearance. This is a Spellbound #7, pre-code horror.
Golden Age.
Second horror story ever written by a guy by the name of Stan Lee.
Whoa!
Oh, see why you got to pull that in.
Who?
Hey, that may be.
Who's it written by?
It's written by I think his name is Stan Lieber. It's his
Stanley
second.
Lieber.
It's his second horror story. In addition to this, I'm just going to read. When you see notes this much, but nothing over here, pay attention to what's over here. That's my best thing I can say. It doesn't say first appearance of. You don't have to. I will just read this off. Stanley story, Saw Brodsky cover. Bill Everett, Dick Ayers, Joe Manley artwork.
All of those men you just named. That's why you don't need nothing.
Yeah. And this is a Spellbound number 7. And by the way, this is the second horror Spellbound book. If you don't know, Spellbound number 3 is considered the first Stan Lee horror story. This was actually his second, but his first he wrote, and second published.
Wow.
And I got this book, and now it's time for first appearance, right?
Whoa, JD.
First appearance, right?
Yeah.
I got this book, and I had it. It was shipped from London for the equivalent of $217 US. This is my first appearance.
Oh, dang.
Does anybody know who this man is?
Christopher Lee.
That is the very first Dracula in comics.
Dang, first Dracula.
1953. So I've got a 52, 53. And you know, when I heard the Great Legend was going to be on here, you know, you got to bring it, sing it, never
bringing out the Holy Grails, the big boy books.
Well, you know, it was funny because before I actually knew you were here, I put the order in for this from a guy, and actually I have an order in right now for the next time. So Tony, whoever you choose for the next time, you better bring it because I'm bringing it every week now.
Oh, I'm gonna bring
it every week. I kid you not. The hunt is my hunt, and I actually might only buy 5 books during the 2-week span, and I might buy 5 keys. You don't know because
you never know.
Because literally, I will tell you this: the equivalent is $179.18, and I have that written right here. $179.18 on the back of a Spider-Man receipt. I have it right there. I paid for both those books. Now, this guy was in London. This is maybe a 4, but I'm literally Tony. If this was in our slab or not to slab, Mr. Great Legend, would you say to slab this book?
That book there, I would get that one cleaned and pressed by CCS.
Yeah, the only thing is there's a
PGX.
I know the new tables. I know the new tables and this tape right here on the side. I don't want them to remove it.
Yeah, leave it on there. Leave the tape.
Honest God, I'm okay with tape. Honest God, I just want to preserve this because of outside of I don't own a Neil Adams Tomb of Dracula 1, but if you want to see something really quick, I'm gonna leave this book right here on one of my pedestals. Let's put that out there. Well, you go through your next books, everybody else. But do you want to know what's crazy? This is 1953, the first ever Dracula. Man, I mean, this awesome. This is not the first vampire because apparently was a vampire in 49, but this is the first Dracula ever in comics. And I think I actually conversed with him. Mr. Great Legend on this once before, and I said, I've been looking for this. And TJ Watson and I said, TJ, I got to pull the trigger on this. I said, I'm getting a Spellbound 7 and this. I'm making the deal. And TJ looks at me, goes, I'm jealous I don't have that deal. And when Mr. Watson says that, and honestly, God, Mr. Watson, Mr. TJ Watson and I had discussed Golden Age for the last, 6, 7, 8 months. And he's a big fan of certain kind of covers. And anytime I find one of those at a cheap price that I think I could buy, I say, here you go, Mr. Watson, take it.
Just take it, man.
Yeah. If you want it, go through me. If I want something, go through you. You know, that's what the relationship is. But if you want to see something first, this is, by the way, Tony, you chose this, Tony. You went 1-1. I showed a Golden Age book as my poll of the week because both of these combined come out to be $80 a book. I have the second. 1950, slabbed. It's a 3.5. But by the way, has you all watched some of my slab videos, right? What's the one thing I always talk about?
Low grade is better than no grade.
Yep, and white pages, right?
White pages, white pages is big.
I will challenge you to one time look around in one of your collections to find a book from 1952 with white pages.
God, I'm gonna have to hunt. That's a hunt within a hunt.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's my thing. I love the white. I got these two from a guy in London, and right now he's selling a couple other books right now, which is where I want to talk to him again. It does take a while to get them because I did order these two. Literally, the day of the last hunt video is the day I closed the deal, and I just got them yesterday. I was so afraid they weren't going to get here in time. I was going to show you the other stuff I got. One would have been a book, which is a book for my son, which is
oh yeah, that's cool. I've seen that.
This is I actually own the 3rd edition. I bought it in 1983. This is the 1st edition. It's not the prettiest edition.
So that's your hustle of the week right there.
Oh no, this is 1978. No, I actually paid for this from Midtown Comics.
I was trying to get a break.
Yeah, I was actually this is a gift to my son, which is my son's he can't draw. He can't.
I was just looking at that. My comic book shop has that book.
If you have, I don't know if you ever see any of my drawings or whatnot, but I've done a few artworks here and there for people here and there. TJ and Tony Sanders, I know, is a great artist. Tony, this book made me do what I wanted to do, and I actually got my first job in comics drawing. And
was it you that did a review about that book, or was that White Whale? They had the
White Whale and I did a Buscema thing, but he he mentioned saying that both him and I grew up on this book. Yeah. This book was everything I ever did. And I'll be honest with you, that would have been my hustle of the week if this did not come today. I actually, I'm not going to lie to you. Don't laugh, but I took a day off of work just to sign for that. To make, I know also to give my postman his Christmas gift, his red envelope, his Christmas
take care
gift.
of the postman. The postman takes.
By the way,
care of
anybody
you.
who orders any books through the mail or any delivers anything out, please take care of your postman. Give him a gift card, give him something love, give him a restaurant, whatever you want. But do take care of your UPS, your FedEx, and everything else, because while they're bringing those things to you guys, those things you complain about being beat up and everything else like that, those guys have carried that stuff way too long.
Yeah.
So we got anybody else want to?
I just led off. I led off with Dracula as my first appearance.
So anybody else want to show their other books? Anybody want to show their other books?
I think that's it for me.
It's not eerie, but I
want to see it. I want to see it.
These were going to be my first appearance.
Hey, honest to God, I love that character. I love that character.
One of those sold in the Hero Initiative auction.
Is that
them, Jeffrey?
I don't know. I got these as a gift today from White Whale Comics. Hulk Collector 73. Dude, Hulk Collector 73 bottom. So.
By the way, Mr. Greg Layden, can you please shout out your a couple of us, pretty much almost. I think everybody in the chat might have, and everybody here has probably has bought from the auction last weekend. At least I know I have bought for the Hero Initiative. But this weekend is such a big weekend because they didn't think they would break 5,000 overall, and not only did
that was a great.
Did they crush that number? They have too many books that they need to do a second day, and that second day, if you didn't see Who Dat Comics and everybody else do Strictly Comics do their thing.
Legend, is it gonna be on your? Is it gonna be on yours?
It'll be on my channel tomorrow night. It's part 3 of the 2018 Comic Book Community Hero Initiative auction, helping the creators in need. It's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central on youtube.com/r.e95. Your home for the Great Legend Show.
And Great Legends link is in the description, so check it out.
Thanks.
I actually lost quite a few auctions, And it's not for being cheap. It's just that you want to know what? I don't want to be the guy that buys a book for value and saying I can flip it when a guy might want it for
Not
heart.
want it. Yeah, that's I agree too. You know, like I have a little limit, and that's it.
Yeah, I had a limit on that. Actually, it's funny. Illusion Comics and I talked about you probably remember this. Who Dat Comic put out that Fantastic Four 65, that first Ronin appearance.
Just
and the two of us were bidding it back and forth, and we know each other, and you all know each other, and we're sitting there, and I'm like, I'm gonna let you in. So I Instagram him and I said, congrats on the FF65. He goes, I need that for my collection. I said, that's why I fold. And I put down literally right that I fold. And then on Instagram, it says, if I see this on here, I own it at 10% of whatever you do. And he turned around and he goes, I will keep this and heart it. And that was such a good thing. That's such a great moment between Illusion and Comics, who is a big time comic buyer. And everything else. And this is I'm a lowly guy with 180 subscribers, whatever on
YouTube.
Your
way to 500 though.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. I just keep myself. I'm humble, and I'm humble for a reason because I do appreciate the things that Tony does, Great Legend does, Jeffrey does, And I will say this: that moment during that video when he looked at me, and he Instagrammed me first and said flat out. He Instagrammed me first, says, is this you bidding? I said, yeah. He goes, I'm going to buy it no matter what. I said, I fold for you. As long as you don't sell it. And he's not going to resell it. And
we got Comics with Bueller in the house.
Hey, Bueller, that vest, the best with the vest is here.
Yeah, I just want to shout out to all the people in the chat. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Thank you for sticking with us. We're going 2 hours strong right now. Yeah. Thank you guys.
And also that's because of JD.
I'm fixing to have to go.
Yeah, I know.
Go. Well, you gotta go turn this into a 5 hour.
Been two hours here, buddy.
I didn't know it was gonna run this long. JD got that good juice in him tonight.
Yeah, the good stuff. I got to get a refill myself.
I saw Aquaman tonight.
So I'm gonna say that JD just won the whole thing at the end.
No, you can't give it to me. You can't give it to me.
He won that thing.
You can't make it.
I would say he won it. I would say.
I agree. Like,
I want to see what you guys got. Please.
We already showed it. I can't beat the first Dragon.
Yeah, totally awesome. Hulk, the Weapon H stuff. That's freaking awesome.
The first Carnage.
It was a gift.
I love First Carnage and everything else, but
yeah, you can't beat Dracula. So,
this is a 4 at best. It's got tape on the side.
You can't find that book. I just tried looking for it. You can't find it.
Yeah, and I got them both for 100, the equivalent of 200 euros, because I bought it from a guy from Europe. Yeah, and actually, I know somebody else in the has bought from him. He's on the CGC website. If you go to the CGC forums, he's there. He's a bit of you just got to wait for your book for a while. And it takes like a week and a half. And some people want their books the next day. And I wasn't really crazy. I said, well, I don't have that book since 1952. I wasn't even born yet. I just really wanted it because I'm honestly, I'm going to explain this book really quick. Like skeletons are hard to find in the pre-code horror and at a reasonable price, and this Great Legend. If anybody researches that, but this has got the shadow of it. And the thing that attracted me to it the most was Stan Lee's story, and I didn't know Stan Lee ever wrote horror books inside horror titles. So I looked up, and Spellbound 3 was the first one he ever did, which is like a worm cover and everything else. This is the one. This is number 2.
And I said, man.
Well, it's not.
He's the man.
So, yeah, it's just one of those things. And by the way, this Dracula cover, I was shocked because I do want to show this. If you can keep, Tony, if you keep this show open for 1 minute, I want to show why this cover to me is significant.
Got that Christopher Lee on there.
Yeah.
Look like
it does look like Christopher Lee, right? 1977. You know what I mean? but if you know Tomb of Dracula at all,
Dracula.
number 23, a great Gene Colan cover. You look at this. This is way before that. This is 20 years before that. Look at this.
Oh, so maybe it's one of them homage covers or something.
It's not according to him.
It's not.
It's according to the homage thing. It's Gene Colan's is an homage to Batman 31.
The castle, the where he's the goat Batman in the castle.
So that's what that's on. Like,
I don't know anything about this stuff.
Yeah,
this is what I'm talking about, and this is, I mean, I like vampire covers, and not that I'm a vampire in any way by any means, but I love vampire covers.
Okay,
but I'm gonna put this against this, and if anybody has seen my thing, is like we want to interview Neil Adams and talked about this cover with his homage to his own to Detective 31, which is Batman 227. And then there's another cover after that, which is somebody running away. And I said, is this where he has the Joker in the background like that? That's a new one with claws coming out. So I'm thinking, so that's it. But I think they both owe an homage to one and one only. It looks a little similar, no?
They do. They got to give it up for
I mean, this is something where I want to talk to, and somebody said Neil might punch you in the face, and I said, Neil, no, I've talked to Neil. Neil signed my New York Rangers gear, my hockey gear, because he used to draw us as in the hockey world and everything else. But this is 1953. This is what 1970 something, right?
Tomb of Dracula.
1974, Tomb of Dracula 23, which, by the way, is a very much, if you ever want to look at a Batman 227 or a Detective Comics 31, is it a great legend you might know? Is it Batman 31 or Detective Comics 31? The one that
it's got to be Detective Comics because it had that action comic style where there was a blue bar at the top, then it white background, and then Detective, and then it had Batman in the background of the castle.
And then
Neil Adams had the famous Neil Adams homage,
which is Neil Adams, which comes first. Does Neil Adams give an homage to Neil Adams? Or is Neil Adams giving homage to Gene Colan?
Yeah, that is a really good question.
Or is Gene Colan giving a thing to Mr. Kamen himself? I mean,
castles were all the rage, man. They look good on the cover, and
I just wanted to point that out. Thank you guys very much for that's like a moment where it's a video I don't have to cut and paste, or edit. I would have to do like 6 or 7 videos to do that. I might do it anyway.
So Legends got the auction coming up this weekend, and we're going to I was going to say, JD, since you won,
I got a host.
No, well, we got to have what we're doing. Like, what kind of cover you want?
Okay.
What are you going to do next week?
For 2019, I did a video recently with Bueller and Reggie, and we were talking about the community. So give a cover, and your choice is, we did sexiest cover, which we all know and love. We did the
fight cover,
best fight cover, the best holiday cover. Let's do the cover that the cover that you want to give to somebody else, or how about the best homage cover? How about
that? We can do that. We'll do that.
I'm down for show. For show.
But you can't be busting out no Batman.
I will not bring out the books. Any book I've ever brought. Like I told you, I told you, Tony, I do buy books here and there. I go on spurts where I buy like 30, 40 books at a time, and then I don't buy books for a couple of weeks. But the hunt got me buying books. Even tell Tony, I'm like, I literally sit there and I don't buy as many books, but you want me to buy books, I'll buy books, But the funny thing is, I sit there and I'm like, well, he can't win. Because when Tony won, the first time I had to defend it, but I will give it up to Jeffrey. That if I had a vote, I would have given it up to Jeffrey. I'll be honest with you. That Hulk 22 was everything, you know.
So anybody, all right, so we're gonna do that, and the next guest is gonna be Economics and Comics on January 4th.
It's gonna be sick.
That's gonna be sick. Yep.
Sick.
And Great Legend, man, I'd like to thank you for coming on the show.
How do we thank Great Legend enough? If everybody literally do me a favor, if you don't subscribe to him, subscribe to him right now. And if you do subscribe to him on his next live video, please wrote down coming at you live.
Coming at you live, man. Yeah, that's how y'all do it. That's the way to do it.
On my list of people that I wanted to thank and everything for 2018, Great Legend is one of those guys who, when I had 12 subscribers, Great Legend said, y'all got to check out JD. Y'all got to check him out. And he watched the video, and he goes, I can't believe this is your first. It was my first video that Reggie and Bueller commented on because I tagged them both because they said, and Great Legend got tagged somehow. And it's my first video ever by them, and it was like a year, not even a year ago, not even close to a year ago. And I was like, I'm just here to meet you guys, and I just started.
It was awesome, man.
Yeah,
now your channel's like it's on fire because I was telling them in the comic cards, like all of the new channels and stuff like that. The sub counts are going really quick. It seems like, you know, back in the day, like the grind was real. You know, it took forever to move, but shoot, people start getting subs pretty quick because the community's so big. Everyone wants to see new people, new faces, new comics, new places. So man, it's just awesome.
I have got to get my wife to do a show with me once a week. How about that?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Honey, what do you think? Once a week we do a live show together, huh? Yeah. All right. She said, let's do it.
Yeah.
But again, she just turned around and said DC versus Marvel again. She's such a DC girl. She really is. We had to go see Aquaman night. Not for Jason Momoa. Maybe for Jason Momoa. We don't know.
Well, guys, let's call it a night. It's like
all right.
Thank you very much, Tony.
I'm gonna be streaming tomorrow too. I got one tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time with Just a Rican, and then as soon as the Hero Initiative auction goes offline, I will be live with Comics with Bueller and Sam from Sam's Tangled Web. So if you guys have any time tomorrow, come check that out.
Hey Jeffrey, is that on your channel?
Yes, sir.
I will so be on your channel. I recommend everybody else subscribe. Go to Jeffrey's channel.
Links are
as a live feed to the auction that we're all going to be bidding on.
That's so cool. That's
we are all going to be bidding on and discussing, saying, you know, make sure we give as much money as we can to the George Perez and everybody else as we can, because they're good people and they are the people that we grew up with. But please, thanks
everybody for hanging out, especially all you East Coasters. That really means a lot to me. I know some of you guys is super early. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, East Coast, yeah.
So yeah, thanks guys, and thanks for staying for the special episode of the Christmas of the Hunt. And we'll catch you guys on the next show, and see you later.
See y'all later.